Hiya, mate.
Hello. You took your time.
All right, on a fucking wind up in that other party. Funny as fuck.
What winding matter?
How'd you get on today?
Yes.
I know you got on all right, but you know.
We'll chat about it a bit later because we're about to go live. So, but yeah, that's looking good so far.
Okay.
Looking promising.
Excellent. Well, that's good news.
Two drivers are taking their double points tonight.
Yeah, got that, I think. One's not here.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and joining me in the commentary box once again is my father, KLF, and we are at a very interesting circuit here tonight, Kelly. Your pick, indeed. Your choice, and we're at the streets of Long Beach.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's good enough for a Grand Prix of the past, then it's good enough for us. That's what I say. I love this circuit, Dan.
Still currently used today for the Indy cars as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us.
Beautiful California. We got lovely sunshine. We got I got my Prolapse bikini out.
Me too, funnily enough.
Getting a lovely tan right now. I think the girls in the beach are getting a bit put off right now, but nonetheless. We got these beautiful cars here on this beautiful circuit, and been a couple of seasons since we've had Long Beach, but we've got it back, and for most drivers, they are detesting this place.
Yes, good, isn't it? There's a lot of walls. I think we're going to have some interesting viewing this evening. I'd love to hear the guys in the chat what your thoughts are on the track as drivers and what you see tonight, because I think we're going to have some interesting racing tonight, Dan.
Definitely so. We are going to have some interesting racing. Stelsoff is currently out on track in his Lamborghini, and we've got a couple of drivers missing this evening, and sadly we've lost Nicky for the rest of the season. So Nicky is actually pulled from the season, so we're going to miss Nicky, but hopefully he can come back next season. But do you want to hear the championship standings at this stage, Kelly?
I'm hanging out for championship standings, I am.
Well, leading the way is Matt, still with a decent gap with 309 points to his name. He's 61 points ahead of Emplava in second place. Then third place, Ben Parkey, still way at this minute with work in third place position. Laney also not here at the stage in P4. This gives the chances of Smokey Devil and Welshie, P5 and 6, to try and gain some points on them. 7th is Smithy, 8th is Dean Wasocki, 9th is Ukbar, 10th is Bryn, 11th is Stel Sloth, 12th is DJ Phil, and Nicky brings up the rear. Regarding the team's championship, it's Sweet and Sour Motorsport who still lead the way with 437 points, 189 points ahead of their closest rival, which is Audi Sport in second place. Third place is Rainbow Prolapse. In fourth place is Team Prolapse. Fifth place is MC Motorsport. Sixth is Not Fast Just For You. Furious. 7th is Smoky Racing. Metal One Racing come up in 8th, and Powerline Racing in 9th place position. And Kelly, this circuit is definitely challenging, definitely ones for these guys to keep an eye on. I'm actually trying to find the records for this circuit. I remember rightly, Andy took pole position in the Lamborghini in Season 2 at this circuit.
Yes, I don't have that to hand, so yes, I'll let you.
I've got it now.
Excellent.
So pole position for last time around here was Season 2, was a 1:19.3 set by Rabbit Joe in the Porsche 911, but the race record for Pro-Am was held by Holty in the McLaren with a 1:19.7 as well. It's all this in Season 2. Andy's pole position lap was a 1:17.3 in the Lamborghini, and Gary with the record in the Porsche 911 race record with a 1:18.0. So those are the kind of lap times we are looking around here. And
I think they're gonna tumble down, don't you, in both categories? Seeing some of people's pre-testing, I think those numbers are going to tumble tonight.
And to the two people who are currently, the one person who's currently watching my private stream, head over to Simplay Motorsport. That's where all the interesting viewing is going to be held, so make sure you tune in there, not in my private stream. But we are losing a few drivers here. Bryn currently on a race ban after getting one too many penalty points, so he's currently missing race 1, but he should be back for race 2. And 2 drivers taking double points here this evening, Kelly, and an interesting choice of circuit to take double points as well.
Well, I think, to be fair, Dan, there's not, you're saying that not a lot of people like this one, but there's a couple of people who actually love this track. So, it's one of those, it's a bit of a Marmite track, isn't it? You either love it or hate it kind of thing, do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of not surprised, really. It's not for everyone's taste, but, for those who have got consistency over pace, then it can pay you back.
Yeah, definitely. So probably
anyway.
With the lack of numbers here as well, probably gives them a better opportunity to race a bit better, as M5 goes a little bit deep into Firestone there. But it is a circuit, like you say, it's a bit of a Marmite circuit, and for me, I love this circuit. It's one of my favourites, and in the Porsche, it's absolutely beautiful. I seem to be struggling a little bit in the McLaren, but hopefully these guys have got a nice setup, all tuned up and ready to go, as Matt will know for sure that setup here is important.
Yes, indeed. And M-Plava's currently setting the pace with a 1:18.5, so I think that's going to tumble from there, because I don't think he's hooked up a good lap yet. And that's the key, Dan, isn't it? You've got to hook the lap up on this one and get it all right. And you've got to be clinical about it, because it's Monaco-esque with all these barriers. There's no runoffs. There's a couple of corners that will catch you out, and a very tricky pit lane in and out as well.
Definitely. So if we can stay on board, we'll come back on board with M-Plava a little bit later on, as we will discuss the pit lane. There has been a video that's been posted on Facebook explaining the pit entry and exit. If we can get to a driver that's near the end of the circuit, so we can explain that. We'll go back to M-Plava. He's near the end. Here he is now. So if we go on board with M-Plava, he'll come into the hairpin here. And if you are on the inside of the driver and you are on the outside and you're wanting to pit, you will have to wait until the next lap. You are not allowed to cross in. There's the pit entry to your right. If you cross over, you will cause an accident, so you will have to wait another lap if you have someone alongside. As M-Plava goes down the back straight now, you will come to the pit lane here. You will have to stay within the yellow line, the blue line first, and it turns to yellow. You stay on the right hand side of that yellow line all the way to the end of the road, and then you can turn in. Regarding with drivers on track, if a car comes out of the pits, you have to give them space and respect as you come down the back straight. No crossing that line, no chopping in front of the other drivers, making sure you give that a fair respect as you go into turn 1, because that pit lane exit is an absolute tricky one, especially these cars are coming through that sector so fast.
It's a tricky one, Dan, because it's not marked in white either, as you were just pointing out. The pit in is marked in blue, and the pit out is marked in blue, then turns to yellow, and you must run all the way to the end of that yellow line before you cut into the circuit, which is exactly where a fast car will be turning. So yes, it is going to be critical. So hopefully all these boys have watched the videos. If there's any of our pro friends in the chat tonight, have a look at the video. You know, you might feel that you don't need to and you understand it, but it is a tricky one. As we see Ugbar now, look, blue line where Emplava is just going, and couldn't move quick enough. Sorry, couldn't move quick enough to pick that up. Emplava came into the pits. He was
There's a couple of cars coming out the pits. Let's try and catch one of them. I think it's Dean, possibly, or Stealth Sluff. Perfect. Let's go on board with Stealth.
Yeah.
So as he comes out the pit lane, as you can see here, he goes down toward the line, and he has to stay to the left-hand side, the right-hand side of the blue line, which is not that blue line, but that blue line.
Yeah.
He needs to stay within that. And once it goes yellow, sort of beautifully done by Stealth Sloth. He just crossed it.
That was good enough, wasn't it? It was close enough.
That's kind of a good example.
Yeah, he went all the way. Oh, look, the gardener won't be happy. Get off the flowers. Yes, it was close enough. He was on the yellow line. You have to follow that one all the way to the end. Shall we try and get an on-board lap, Dan? Let's see. Matt's there, and Plava's round the flower bed as well. Who's this? Stealth is turn 1. Welshie. Well, let's see if Welshie. Let's try and go on board, and he's going to go in the pits now. He should have come across more to the right there, Dan, shouldn't he?
Well, he doesn't actually have to go across the blue line. It's
okay.
It's more
just has to stay right.
That's more for the pit exit. The blue line on the pit entry isn't really necessary too much of an issue. It's when you have a car on the inside of you in the hairpin, and you're on the outside and you want to pit.
Yeah,
you will have to stay out.
Absolutely. So let's have a quick whiz round Long Beach, shall we? Long straight with a bit of a curve in it. We can't really call that a corner. It's flat scat all the way through. It's a very, very long pit lane. You want to be and a 90-degree first turn. Come across, dives it into the pit lane, hits the brakes at about the 500-metre board, down a load of gears. Don't touch the curb on the inside. Come to the flower bed. You've got to get it slowed down. Run the curb. Stay off the flowers. We won't be happy about it. You accelerate through it. Do not get up on this curb. It'll spin the car around. Quick squirt up to the next right-hander. Again, stay off the curb. It'll spin you round. Careful on acceleration. It's very slippery there. A lot of people have already lost it there. Pull over to the right-hand stand. 3-metre, 100-metre board. Hit the brakes. Try and pick up the apex on the inside. Let the car run wide. Come over to the left. Ready for the right-hander. Hit the brakes. Look out for the tyre wall. They are solid. Rooted right into the earth. And if you hit them, they're non-forgiving. Back straight. Flat scat now. All the way along the back here. It's a bit of an overtaking opportunity, but it's a little bit sketchy. 400-metre board, hit the brakes, down a couple of gears. Slippy on the inside, go careful, easy to run wide. Now we're into the hairpin section. This is slippery as well. First or second gear, just touch the throttle. Now the hairpin, first gear, tuck it to the inside. That's a lap of Long Beach. It's short, it's sharp, but it's certainly dangerous.
Definitely so. We've got a couple of guys in the comments. Let's go in the comments saying, evening lads and lasses, good luck to you all. Exmar in the comments as well. I've watched the pit video. I will be a good boy tomorrow. Not sure about Kelly. Fury's granddad saying,
don't you worry about me, Bush.
Evening all. Good luck everyone. Mental image as we're about to get underway here at Long Beach. And another thing that these drivers will probably get caught out, and I think a lot of people have to tweak and adjust their setups, is the bumps here. Obviously, most racetracks have got a nice asphalt kind of track to run on, nice and evenly flat. You go to some places a little bit bumpy, but here this is an everyday used road, so they're bumpy, and yeah, the suspension is going to take a lot. Exactly like Monaco, but the suspension is going to take a lot more of a brutal hit to it, and if the car is not bottoming out, and it should be in a good place, but if it is bottoming out, you could have some issues. And
absolutely,
Kelly, we're starting to come towards the end of the season. We've got 3 rounds left for drivers to take double points. There's quite a few who still haven't taken theirs. 2 tonight, and we got Rapuna and then Laguna the last times to take their double points, and yourself haven't taken it as well. So it's a difficult situation, isn't it, at this stage of the season? When do you take it, on what circuit? And again, it depends on what car you're driving as well.
I think it might be a case, Dan, of those who are waiting for their tracks to come up. I possibly take my double points tomorrow night, as this is the track that I chose, and probably one of my best opportunities for a good result. See me come last tomorrow. but Laguna is quite a favourite, isn't it? And that'll be the last opportunity. But there's a lot of drivers who like Laguna, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's an influx of double points at Laguna, you know.
As Mark says, bloody awesome lap over you there, clearly lots of great advice. And
thank you.
I can't really comment this season on double points after my drop score is my double points at Bruno, but that kind of saves me if I have a bad round, you know. That's kind of how my double points have worked out. So this is the tricky thing about this GT3 Championship, is knowing when and how to use the double points, and you just don't know what's going to happen. And at a circuit like Long Beach as well, anything could happen, and the people who are taking double points are probably relying on some sort of chaos or carnage that's going to unfold. But once again, Kelly, Matt and Emplava, look how much these two are separated by.
Yeah, by absolutely nothing, by a fag paper, aren't they? 6/100ths separates Emplava and Matt. Of course, this is practice, but I feel this is going to be where they are pace-wise. So, yeah, the both of them going really, really well. I think this is going to be the battle tonight, and I think for the rest of the guys, it's going to be best of the rest. Unless, of course, that Matt and Emplava come together and have a massive accident. As you said, this is one of those tracks where anything can happen, and you know, I say closest thing we do to Monaco, really. You know, so yeah, it's don't go anywhere, people. There's going to be some interesting racing tonight and tomorrow night as well.
It is going to be some interesting racing for sure, and make sure you tune in also tomorrow night for the pros, as they will be hitting the circuit as well. They'll be hitting Long Beach circuit. Keep your eye out for Gary 131. He loves this circuit, and this Porsche goes beautifully around here, so watch out for Gary.
Certainly does.
Can Andy extend
Andy.
his...
Yeah,
Andy loves this circuit.
Well,
he does go well here. He loves the circuit. Can he go well here? I like the circuit, but I feel the McLaren is probably lacking a little bit here. And at the minute, the Audi looks like the strongest car here tonight.
Yeah, it does. But we've said this before, Dan, and you know, we're just kind of saying the same things again. Luck's going to play a certain part tomorrow night, and you know, whichever cars are stronger, it's going to be survival of the fittest tonight. And you know, the luck, you could be involved in something. I mean, it only takes one car to spin here, especially in lap one, and everybody behind them is going to be you know, vulnerable to an accident.
Definitely so. We've got a lot of people in the comments here. Good evening, everyone, and we're looking forward to a great night's worth of racing here. The pit window for these guys will be on lap 6, so 24 laps here of Long Beach. And is this a practice or race? This is just a practice session, Aidan. We go into a 20-minute practice session, then into a 10-minute qualifying session, and then we go into the 24-lap race. And
who's the Romance Ninja then?
I have no idea who they're on about.
Do you want to explain that one, Disco? Who's the Romance Ninja?
Who is the Romance Ninja? And also,
good question.
Make sure you tune in as well on Sunday night, because we will be racing once again in the F1 Championship. They will be back on track, and we head to the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Can Matt hold off Green Pies, or is Green Pies now going to take the fight to him? And also with the news as well that the Russian Grand Prix being dropped and being replaced with the US Grand Prix, so make sure you tune in for that, because I know Green Pies will be wetting himself for that one for sure. But these guys just trying to get into a flow, and I think lap times again, it's not something we want to keep an eye on. It's all these walls that they just need to stay away from the walls. Who's going to be the most consistent? Who's going to stay out of trouble? That is the question. Guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to take pole position tonight. If Matt is in the pits and listening, can he put up a poll? Possibly. That would be fantastic. But Kelly, who do you think is going to take pole position?
Well, it's hard to look beyond the top two, really. I think it's going to be Emplava or Matt. Matt was complaining he doesn't like this track very much, you know. And I think telling me off thinking it.
I was going to say, complaining is a bit of an understatement from Matt on this case.
Yeah, whinging like a septic drain might be more like it. DJ Phil held on to that one, didn't he? I told you it's slippery out of there. He's dripping like a septic drain over this track. But hey, touche. Autumn Park was terrible. So goes around, comes around, makes a whole load of tracks to make up a season. But he's still going well. He's in the hunt. I think Emplava might have pole. But it's going. I mean, look at the gaps at the moment, Dan. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's who can call it?
Well, we're having to call it, and if you're going Emplava, then I'm gonna go with Matt on this one. He always has a go at me and says that I don't pick him enough. So this is the night to prove me wrong, Matt. If you can do it here at Long Beach, then fair enough. Then you definitely do deserve driver of the day if you can do it here at Long Beach.
Well, we will find out, so don't go anywhere. We're coming towards the end of practice now, so last couple of chances for people to make last adjustments, whatever they're going to do, get a feel for things, take some different lines, whatever, and we'll get underway with qualifying really shortly. And wait until Fury's mum joins the chat and you'll see, Kelly. What's that all about? What's that all about? There's nothing making much sense here tonight.
I don't know either. He said Smithy a second ago, so...
Right, Smithy, yeah, okay. So
Smithy and Fury's mum seems to have quite a interesting relationship in the chat, so we'll see how... She's only now just finished work, Disco, so Fury's mum, what are you playing at? You in the chat now. But Dean currently up on his lap time.
Yeah. Yes. Dean within a second of the leading pace, isn't he? You know, and he's been trundling around behind DJ Phil a little bit for the last lap or so. So DJ Phil lets him through and gives him some space there.
That was well handled from those two, to be honest. Yeah. And DJ Phil straight into the pits.
Straight to the pits. Probably why he did it that way, wasn't it? It was the perfect way to do it, really.
Yeah, Dean just losing a little bit of time there, but he does have another lap in underneath him. But this is just a practice session. Aiden in the comments saying that poor BMW front end.
I know, bless it.
Dean's just missed his braking.
We both thought that was going in the wall, did we not?
Yeah.
And he's done it again. Missed the apex by a country mile. Bit late on the brakes. And he goes flying on. It's easier there, isn't it, to do that?
For me, this circuit, you don't want to be going late on the brakes. It's all about being a little bit earlier and making sure the car turns in. There's quite a good little race going on in the back straight. I'm not who sure that's between, but there's two cars quite close to one another. It's not Welsh. I think it's Smokey and Stell Sloth. So these two quite tight to one another. I think this Mercedes might struggle. Unless Smokey's got the hards to work, this Mercedes might struggle on the softs.
This is the first time I ever raced Smokey was round here. It was in a public lobby, so we were joined by the usual normal Muppets that are in public lobbies, but it was the first time I ever came across Smokey. We were very close company in this here at Long Beach.
Yes, that is the practice session coming to an end. And guys, come on, get your votes in on who you think is going to take pole position. Kelly's going for Mprava. I'm going for Matt Imovic. We could have a surprise. Ukbar could surprise us, or even Dean. Who knows? Here at Long Beach, anything can happen, and it's all about nailing that lap. But it is Mprava who is the fastest out of the practice session, and Matt in second, Ukbar in third, Dean in fourth, Welshie fifth, Smokey sixth, Smithy seventh, eighth is DJ Phil, and ninth is Stell Sloth. So guys, get your votes in now as we're about to get underway here for qualifying. And Kelly, one thing that I do have to stress here for these qualifying sessions for these guys is you've got to get out and get clean air.
Yeah, you don't need somebody else in the way, that's for certain, sure. And Dean looks like he's the first man to take advantage of it and getting out there quick. Didn't mess around, straight out
Bravo
there.
Already out on track.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he must have been further up the pit lane. It is a horrendously long pit lane here. And, of course, it is an American track as well, so there's no pit garage as such in this one. So Mplava's first man out. Matt's got himself a penalty, Dan.
Oh no,
dear.
Matt will not be on pole position.
He's got two. He's got two. Oh, that was the pressure of you bigging him up. That was the problem, Dan.
That was the pressure. See now, do you know what I'm going to get now? Because I've backed him up now, I'll go back into the party chat with him later, and he'll then start blaming me. He will then blame me for that. He will have a horrid round now because I've told him that I'm going to support him. Wow.
Commentator could curse. He should have not wanted your support, because now he's got the commentator's curse, hasn't he?
He has got the commentator's curse.
Careful what you wish for.
Careful what you do wish for, because at this state, Matt, you're as even Disco says, my money's on Matt for a race win and Mprava for pole position. At this rate, Disco, Matt's going to be starting third if he puts it on pole. If he starts second, he's going to be starting fourth. So Mprava here offered possibly an easy pole position at this stage.
Yeah, and surprisingly, considering how well he's doing, Mplava still hasn't won here at Simplay.
No, he still has not, and that's the crazy thing. He's had multiple podiums, but he's still yet to get his first race win, and it's a surprise that we still hasn't got one.
No, you're right, he hasn't, and still chasing that first win. Tonight might be his night, you know. He might be able to get up and get clear of Matt. And, you know, being a street circuit, and you need to be in that groove. Overtaking is not the easiest thing around here. What would you say are the best opportunities, Dan? Into turn 1? Into the hairpin, maybe?
Turn 1, and possibly where Emplar was coming up to now, turn... Oh, I don't know what that's.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn 9 into Firestone.
End of the back straight. Yeah, but you could run wide, really quite wide there. I think if you can go around the outside of that section and get your nose in front of the hairpin, but you've got to be clean with it. Do you know what I mean? It's risky manoeuvres.
It is very risky manoeuvres.
And Plava goes with a 17.6.
Boom.
That's quick.
That's a benchmark. Now he's dumped the fuel out.
That's pro pace, that is.
I don't think that's too far off the pro pole position record, which is actually held by Andy, and that is a 1:17.3. So he's actually only 3/10 off. So,
and he's up again on his delta. So he's flying.
As Matt goes into second place, I think the 18s is what Matt has got underneath him, but I haven't seen Matt do a 17 in practice. So. There is Matt going through turn 1 into the fountain section, and Smithy is into the pits.
Yeah, look out for the flowers. I love that flower bed. I think it's great. Tuck your wheel on the curb, and you can just run the car right round the curb on the inside. Run it around like it's on tracks. If you can hook it up right, can't you?
See, I don't touch it. I don't touch the flower bed at all. I feel it unstables the car.
I just sit it on the curb in. And I think it just pulls the car around beautifully. If you hook it up right, it just pulls the car around, and then you can accelerate out of the flower bed. You're not in the flower bed, you know what I mean? Out of that section into the next bit. I think it's, I love it.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of running that curb, but nonetheless, everyone's different.
Each
Probably
their
different setups. Yeah, your mechanics.
I've got a more stable setup than you, haven't I? You know, so yeah.
On the curves, possibly so. Yeah. I'm trying to find the names of the corners, because I know Long Beach has quite a few corners named after. I know the slow section is called Firestone Corner.
So I believe while you're just looking at that this was a much longer circuit back in the day, where it went all the way up. And when we get round there, I'll try and point it out. The long circuit was really quite hectic. I think the circuit was about 3 times longer than this. This is the one that they use now for IndyCar and so on and so forth. But I think the original circuit goes up into the city a lot more, and goes up round the top and comes back down again. I remember driving it on a previous game, something. I want to say along the lines of Toca Race Driver or something like that.
Grid.
What was it? Grid, was it? It's this section here, isn't it? When you look straight up there, it went all the way up there, straight on at this point, and all the way up round the top of the city and back down again, and picked up right at the bottom of the harbour again.
I was saying that Matt wasn't going to give Emplava a run for his money, but look at that. They're both in the 17.6s again, and Matt's up on his lap time at this minute.
He is, yeah.
So, after
he's
now
pulling
changing...
some out of the bag.
Yeah, after now changing his ECU, and he's now realised that he doesn't need to be running 75% traction control, and his stanky leg isn't giving him any issues. He can actually put a decent lap together here at Long Beach, and towards the line, Sutty's going to be loving that, I know for sure.
Yeah, hop along Duffin will be turning it out now.
There we go, pole
and
position.
He goes quickest, 17.5. That's epic.
That's a good lap time from Matt
there,
and he goes into so fun. An interesting story is this turn 2. Turn 1 is not actually called turn 1. It's turn 2. So Toyota is that corner. Turn 3 we're going through now, and then into turn 4. They're all numbered.
The long flat out one is actually what they call turn 1, is it?
Yep, and that's called Bridgestone. So we go through turn 5 up towards turn 6, which is tailgate turn.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Into tailgate turn, into Pine Avenue straight, then down into turn 7 towards Seaside Way.
Oh, he's going round.
Woo!
Oh, yeah, unlucky. I thought he's retired to the pits on that one.
As Matt was going to finish the lap, that would, as Ukbar carries on from where he left off, he goes down Seaside Way up to turn 8, which is called Firestone Turn. Obviously sponsored by the IndyCars, is Firestone. Then into the turn 9, which is Indy Left. And then into the hairpin, which doesn't have a name, and then into Shoreline Drive.
Shoreline Drive. No, well.
And another fun fact for you here, Kelly. Obviously, the last few years that Toyota's been the main sponsor here at the Long Beach circuit. In most recent years, it's now been Acura that's now the main sponsor at Long Beach. So Matt will be happy about that.
One for lawnmowers.
Definitely so.
She gets it all wrong. Acceleration zone out of that corner, Dan. It's a little bit tricky, isn't it? Especially if you get up on the curb. If you get up on the curb, unbalance the car, and then hit the accelerator, very easy to turn it around as well. She just did.
Yeah, definitely so. Smithy finally coming around the final sector. Can he get a lap together? He's not been enjoying this circuit, but at the same time, this man has to be very, very quiet at the minute. His kids are currently asleep, and he doesn't want to wake them up so he can keep on racing. So we'll see how long Smithy can...
shouting at the telly.
No, this man wasn't able to make race 1, but he's managed to do so, and so far his Acura is nice and quiet. Can he find a little bit more time to get past Al Slough? He's jumped DJ Phil. And we finally got Fury's mum in the comments.
Hello.
Everyone's been waiting for you tonight, Fury's mum. I don't know why. I'm not sure in particular, but they've all been sitting and waiting for you, especially Disco and Smithy always does as well. PN has been waiting around as well. So far, N Prava has now retaken pole position. I think he's done that away.
He has, yeah.
He's taken that back.
We missed that one. Looks like he's had a bit of a bump as well, Dan. He's looks like the front of that Audi's had a bit of a bounce off the wall there, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely so. As guys are now coming on to their final few laps here, as Ukbar is done for the session. He will not get another lap time under his belt, and he won't be able to go on track and cut any corners to do another lap. So that is his session done, and it's N Prava on pole position, but Ukbar will be on the front row at this stage. And short grid tonight. How many have a race ban? It's just the one. It's just the one tonight. That's just Bryn, who's on a race ban. He should be in for a race 2, but no Nicky. He's retired from the season. But Laney not here. Ben Parkey not here. We're missing the Prolapse boys. But nonetheless, M Prava on pole position with Ukbar at this precise stage running alongside.
Yeah, as M Prava comes across the line, he'll get another one in. As he goes across the line, does he improve? No, he's 4/10 down. Where is Matt? What is Matt up to? He's up again on his own delta. That would be enough to put him on provisional pole. Of course, he's got that 2-place drop, so whatever he does, he can start no higher than 3rd. As Dean puts it into 3rd place, so Ukbar went in the pits a bit too early because Dean's done enough to put it in 3rd place, Dan.
Definitely so, and that BMW has a good start under its belt. So Matt is trying to extract the most he can so he can start on the front row. He is up at this stage. M Prava's in. DJ Phil coming through the final section now. Loads of Latvia messages, guys. Can we keep them down to a minimum? We know your boy is on pole position, but try and keep the messages down. Yep, we do love Latvia. We love Latvia very much, but can we just keep it to a minimum if we can? But DJ Phil across the line. He improves and jumps Stealth Sloth. Where is Matt? Is he up? Is he going to take pole position? But he will lose it after his penalty.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He goes quicker, Dan. I just saw his name flash at the top. There you go. Awesome pace from those top two, isn't it? Definitely pro pace from these guys. So Matt takes pole position provisionally. He will drop to 3rd place. So we'll put M Prava on pole and Dean on the front row as well, with Ukbar, Smoky Devil, Welshie, Smithy, DJ Phil and Stealth Sloth make up your top 9. Yeah, that was an interesting one for sure.
I was right for pole position. Matt did take pole position.
So was I.
but you were right as well. Emplava is on pole position. Dean Wasocki on the outside on second place, with Matt running in third. Ukbar will start fourth. Smokey in fifth. Sixth is Welshie. Seventh is Smithy. Eighth is DJ Phil. Ninth is Stealth Sloth. And Kelly, we need to put a prediction in now. Who do you think is going to take the first win of the night?
I think it's got to come sooner or later for Emplava, hasn't it? You know, it's the race win has got to come for him. He can't be at the sharp end for all this time and not get a race win. So I'm back in Latvia tonight, and I'm going to go for Emplava for his first race win.
Well, but
I think Matt's going to give him a hard time as well, though.
I'm going to go for Matt on this one. I think he's been putting in the practice and the consistency as well, and I want him to stop moaning that I never pick him. So I'm going for Matt for this race, and then
commentator's curse is real. We apologise to both of them.
Matt's got 2 grid penalties, and watch him get a 10-second penalty in the pit lane because of me picking him. But reminder to the Pro-Am drivers that the pit window is lap 6, not lap 5, not lap 4, it's lap 6. So they can come in at the end of lap 6. Sutty in the comments saying Smithy for the win. And we've got a couple more comments in as well. Latvia the best. Emplava. Disco say good job Latvia. 17.2 is blistering. Emplava for the win.
It's worrying, Disco, isn't it? Worrying.
It is very worrying, and even for me. But hope you all hope you all stay safe in Latvia, says Fury's granddad. Yeah, we all wish that everything that's going on in that part of the world, that everyone stays safe, and hopefully things will come to an end. But Kelly, race 1 here at Long Beach. We're about to go underway. Lights come on, the revs rise, Emplava on pole, and we go here at Long Beach, and it's Dean with the better start from the BMW as they go down through turn 1 up to turn 2, and Dean's alongside Emplava. How brave is he going to be into turn 1? Reminder, 2 drivers are on double points here this evening, but Emplava on the outside. Dean's going down the inside, but he's just not close enough. Emplava hits the wall, but Smokey hits Ukbar. Ukbar loses the rear wing, and Matt's up into second.
Yes, he is. Dean had a scruffy exit out of turn 1, we'll call it, and Matt was able to pounce there as Dean wasn't on the power quick enough. I think Dean took a bit of an acute angle into turn 1 and compromised his exit a little bit. There was some bumping at the back, but everybody's still there. I believe DJ Phil is...
Yeah, he's just on the back.
He's still there. He's still there.
The man who's going to be struggling is... Oh, as Ukbar just gets a tap from Stealth Sloth there. Ukbar with a rear wing missing. Hopefully he's still facing the right way, but Ukbar's doing a great job to try and get that car back to the pits. With significant damage, he will be able to get away with it because that rear wing makes the car undrivable. But Emplava with the kind of dream start that he wanted. But Dean just a little bit under pressure into turn 1, I think. The pressure might have got to him and he got a little bit flustered, I think. Oh, Smithy just gone wide.
Yeah, in that as he comes into the Firestone tight turn there, it is a tricky one, quite easy to run wide on that one. So it's normal business at the front. Emplava and Matt going at it wheel to wheel like they have been all season. They've kept us entertained, these two. And Dean's there in the 3rd place, but he's going to be hassled by Smokey Devil in a minute. So I think there's a couple of scraps mounted up here, Dan. 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th. They're the ones to watch, I believe.
Yeah, they are. Ukbar into the pits. And a reminder, if these guys do have to pit, we do need to see their footage so we can see if they did have significant damage. With Ukbar losing his rear wing, I believe that should be able for him to get away with it. So the Pro-Am boys can get away with it, but the pros can't. Matt is now wanting to put as much pressure on Emplava as he possibly can. But the man who says he can't feel, who doesn't take pressure, has got a lot on his shoulders, especially here at Long Beach.
Yes, indeed. As Martin Brundle says, you're either giving pressure or you're taking pressure. Well, Matt's giving it, and Emplava is taking it. It's a flash of the lights from Matt. I don't know if he's acknowledging what we said or he's trying to unnerve Emplava a little bit. This guy is cool as cucumber, isn't he?
He is. He's had a couple of moments where he's flustered, but I think come next season, no matter what happens, if he manages to stay in the top 3, imagine this man in the Pro. A couple of guys looking at the Audi as well.
Imagine them both in there, Dan. It's going to make for a Pro next year. It's going to be such a competitive group. I'm so glad I'll be commentating it.
Yeah, definitely so. As they come down into turn 1, Emplava takes a more tighter line. There's a few more guys coming through the pack as Smithy is now onto the back of the 2 MC Motorsport Lamborghinis. But Matt gets him really close through the fountain section there, but he's all over the back of that Audi.
Yes, he did. He had a better run through the fountain there and caught up some real time. But he a little bit close on the wall, just rubbing against the wall, taking a little bit of paint off the side of that Acura. And Matt hanging it out. He knows he's got to clear him, knows he's got to get up with Emplava and give him pressure. And that's exactly what they're doing. As they're starting to drop Dean just a little bit. Dean's ending up in no man's land. Smokey's dropping back and dropped it as well. So that's Smokey. He looks like he's going to maintain that place. Is he? Looks like Stealth is coming, but he's going to maintain that place. But that's given Dean some breathing space. Looked like if Dean keeps his nose clean, he'll be in that best of the rest category again.
Definitely. So as Emplava carries on leading this race, but Stealth Sloth, Welshie and Smithy are all relatively close to one another as well. Can Stealth Sloth hang on to his position here? Smithy really struggling with Firestone Corner, probably braking a little bit too late. So if you probably brake a little bit earlier, might be able to get a good chance of getting it stopped. Yeah. The Lamborghini in the past has been going quite well here, so hopefully these two Lamborghinis...
Oh no, sorry, I beg your pardon. I thought the time... Sorry, Dan. The time's flicked about like sometimes it does on this game. My apologies. I jumped over you with thinking there was something going on. Yeah, go on.
I've got to say, Stealth Sloth is actually having quite a decent start to his race. He's down the inside of Smokey into turn 1. Did he get the job done? But Smithy gets the job done on Welshie.
I thought there was going to be an accident there. Oh no, he gives it back. What's that all
about? He had a little wiggle on exit, but look at these two. Look at these two, Stealth Sloth and Smokey going at it into these tight corners in a place that's not really overtaking opportunity. Smokey really seems to be struggling with the damage that he's had, but Stealth Sloth was looking very good here, up into 4th place position. Good driving from Stealth Sloth so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Having a good round here at the moment. As he gets some time from Smokey. Smokey gets a little bit out of shape, manages to collect it all up, which is something. But he's dropped positions again. Welshie down the inside. That was a move. Got it done.
And now it's Smithy's turn to try and get the Lamborghini. While we got all this excitement, Matt is just starting to lose a little bit of time to Emplava, or is just matching him still. Smithy looking left, looking right. He looks down the inside, and he can't get the job done on Stealth Sloth. He hits the rear of him.
Yeah, gives him a little tap. Hopefully there's not too much damage. But these guys in very close company, all these 4, giving Welshie an opportunity to break away from these guys. Smokey wants to recover some of those positions that he lost. He gets up the inside of Welshie. It's going to be a scrap down through. DJ Phil's now joined the party as well. And he's got back onto the back of this group. And there's a proper scrap going on between these guys. Matt still is dropping back just a little bit, still within a second. He might be struggling with his tyres. He did say about 3 or 4 laps in that he starts to struggle with his tyres. He might be going through that phase now and waiting for his tyres to come back to him. But this is a scrap on track as Stealth ripping up the flowers. He's not going to be popular with the groundsman.
Definitely not. And Smithy here just getting caught out by Stealth, which then catches Smokey out, and DJ Phil. Smithy's gone round.
And he loses it under acceleration out of that corner. That's the one that's catching him out a bit. DJ Phil's looking interested now in the back of Smokey as Matt has brought the gap down again to Emplava. But we'll stick with this battle for a minute because DJ Phil's now on the back of Smokey. Smokey probably struggling with this Merc. Probably not the best car around here, is it, Dan?
Probably not, no, and with the damage that he had earlier from hitting the wall, he's probably just struggling with a little bit of aero or probably suspension damage to the front of that car, so he's just trying to maintain it at this stage. But the more these guys start tripping over one another, it gives Ugbar a chance to get back into this fight and score some more points. So DJ Phil really putting the pressure on Smokey at the minute.
Sure is. So we go, that's Ugbar. The cameramen aren't so keen to do what you ask them to do this evening. Must be a little bit hot and bothered, is that what it is? Matt's still within a second of Emplava. Maybe he's starting to think about a pit stop strategy instead of being able to catch him on track.
Definitely. So come on, Ugbar, keep the head down, pal, says Disco. And Ugbar's got to just start putting in some decent lap times so he can catch these lot. He is actually lapping 2 seconds a lap faster than this group here. Stealth Sloth just catches the rear a little bit, and that's allowed the other two back through. So after Stealth Sloth's great start, he's now lost out to Smokey and DJ Phil.
Yes, indeed, and I missed that one because I was Sooty thinks I'm staying up. Yeah, you're off your head, mate. My teammate, always the optimist, bless him. Look forward to racing him tomorrow night round here. And survival of the fittest, that's what we keep saying it is. And we will certainly see how the pros get on with this difficult track.
Yeah, definitely so. Dean seems to have lost a lot of time. As it is lap second, Dean is into the pits. He's got damage to the front end. And
and it's raining in his world because the wipers are on. Smokey in the pits as well. It is lap 6. They're in the window.
Is that BMW crabbing to you, Kelly?
It does look like it, Dan. Yeah, it looks like like an old Cortina I used to have.
Another comment to mention about Dean actually here at Long Beach. Last time he came into the pits here, he actually dropped it, and his AI took over, and then started reversing him down the pit lane.
Which I'm sure got him a disqualification, did it?
I believe the game disqualified him, but that thing is still crabbing by the looks of things.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the damage has been fixed. I wonder if he got time to assign the damage to be fixed, because it doesn't look well, does it?
No, that looks like it's seriously crabbing.
Yeah, if I was an insurance assessor, I'd be writing that boy off, I tell you.
As DJ Phil is under quite a lot of pressure from Stealth Sloth, as Dean now exits the pits. Where is Ukbar? He's just in the background. He should be able to fight with Smoky Devil on exit. So Ukbar is recovering slowly, but Stealth Sloth is now putting DJ Phil under pressure here.
Yeah, thinks about putting one up the outside inside at Firestone. Thinks better of it. Can all go wrong really quickly.
Definitely so, as they go through Indy left. And is that Welshie in the pits? That is Welshie into the pits. So Welshie pitting on lap 7.
Ugbar's back in this race. He's on the back of Smokey now. So he can recover from here. We believe that the damage was significant enough for him to pit when he did, because he had no rear wing, and that's usually makes the car undrivable. So we believe that's the case. So Ugbar with lots of work to do, but he's still in this race.
It is still doable, as there is a car off straight ahead. Who is that? That is Dean, I think. Sounds like Dean. It is Dean. Whatever damage he sustained is dropping him back even more. So now he's lost out to Ugbar and Smokey again.
He's going to have to get that car back to the pits, I think, and get that damage repaired. It's what a shame. He was so solid in a third place, and does he pull in and fix it? No, he continues to go on.
So it might just be our view, but from where we looked earlier on, it looked like the car was crabbing, but
it did look like a mess.
Looks fine by the looks of things there, but Matt still not able to do anything about Emplava. At this stage right now, what would you do if you were Matt? You're at this stage where you're just following him round and round and round.
Matt's had some really good glitch pit stops, and I think I'd be setting that up. That would be my strategy, to try and have a quicker pit stop, get track position.
Try and get track position. What, to go for the undercut?
Yeah.
Well, at this stage, Emplava currently holding the pace right now. Matt and him seem to just swap and change lap times at the minute. 1 minute Emplava's faster, next minute Matt's faster. Zugbar's pressurising Smokey.
Yes, it sure is. Ugbar on the back of Smoky Devil, and both these guys have pitted. So this is for position. They're racing for 8th and 9th, which is last. But Smokey went deep into Firestone, and that's given Ugbar the position reasonably easily. So Ugbar goes along his way. He's on recovery after that a couple of problems in the first couple of laps. Welshie's already pitted as well, so he's trundling along nicely. Who's in DJ Phil in a good position in third place.
He is indeed, as Smokey's back into the pits. So obviously Smokey sustained quite a bit of damage from that contact. Stealth Sloth in a good position. Oh, Matt has a big wiggle there.
Does have a wiggle. Same spot that I've been talking about.
Stealth Sloth and Smithy. So still yet to pit is Matt, Smithy, Stealth Sloth, DJ Phil and Emplava all still yet to pit. And right now, Welshie in the box seat for that third place position. He's the best of the rest so far, and he's just trading lap times right now. 1 minute, 1:18.5 from Matt and a 1:18.8 from Emplava. So as soon as one does well, the other seems to do a little bit better. There's another car off, Stealth Sloth with no rear wing.
Yes, it was. Del Slosh, you're quite right. Yes, Dan, it's 10 laps in and these guys are exactly the same position. Matt just within half a second of Emplava all the time. So Matt's got the pace, there's no doubt about it, but he can't do anything about Emplava. As I said, he's got to be thinking about a pit stop strategy to get himself in front and get track position so he can just roll reverse these positions, because I don't think Emplava would be in any better position if he was behind.
No, he wouldn't. And I think it's just like Monaco here, Kelly. Track position is key. They're coming up to a lapped car here. Who is it? Smithy. Will Smithy hold Emplava up to give Matt an opportunity to overtake? This is the question. Oh, Matt again!
Oh, Matt has a trundle against the wall. Just has a little bit of a cuff against the wall. Hopefully he hasn't sustained any damage with that one.
He seems to be struggling with that turn 5, and I think it's that curve. It unsettles the car. So now Emplava is on to the back of Smithy, and Smithy will try and hold him up for as long as he possibly can as Stealth slots into the pit and he gets his mandatory pit stop done and out the way, and he's back out on track. Emplava, Smithy just getting in the way there, and
I think Smithy was trying to slow down and get out of the way, to be quite fair.
That has helped Matt get a little bit closer to Emplava, so a little bit of a hold up there from Smithy.
Yes, indeed, and as I say, in my opinion, I think Smithy was trying to get out of the way, to be fair, but
DJ Phil into the pits.
Yeah, DJ Phil into the pits, and is he lapped by the leaders? He must be.
He is lapped.
As Matt goes right down the inside. How did he get that slowed down?
I do not know, but Matt really sending it into turn 2 there. But
great camera view, this, isn't it?
It is a great camera view. It's a shame we can't have a look on the rear one, because it'd be amazing to see from Emplava's point of view. But Matt again, this turn 5 seems to be unsettling the Acura a little bit. After Ugbar's little incident earlier on, he's now back up into 4th place.
Yeah, on a great recovery drive, I'm in the 4th place. I'm just staying on board with this at the moment, just to enjoy this camera angle and just to give you an idea of what Matt is, what the pressure Matt is putting on Emplava. And as I say, it's a great camera view. I don't know what view Matt runs. Is he a roof cam kind of guy?
I think he
is that him
roof.
There?
Yes, I believe so. But Matt right onto the back of Emplava. He goes into the hairpin, has to go left here, and he tries to get the undercut.
Couldn't quite get there.
Just
gives him a little nudge.
Yeah, they give each other a contact. Quite easy to do in the hairpin, but luckily these two got away with it, and they're just matching each other's lap times. They're actually quite slower this time. They're now back in their 20s. Ugbar not too far off their race pace either, so they're too busy fighting one another. Matt's down the inside of turn 1.
Matt's looking racy. Do you think that Emplava's tyres are going away? And he gets the job done. The cameramen weren't so quick to pick that one up. I do apologise. But Matt gets the job down into turn 1. I think Emplava's starting to struggle, you know.
Possibly so. Smithy into the pits, but Emplava now is probably thinking that it's time. Maybe he's got a bit of front wing damage from when he made contact with Smithy. So we don't know, but at this stage, Ugbar has made a great recovery back up to 3rd place position after his massive rear wing damage earlier on in the race. But Emplava right now is now the one attacking Matt. Can Matt now take the pressure? He was following Emplava and just had to do his lines. Now he's the lead car.
Yes, he's the one now piling on the pressure. Now Matt is the one taking that pressure, and Emplava's got to keep him within striking distance. Can't let him get away. I think pit stops are still going to be crucial in this game
I
tonight.
think Emplava will come in this lap. Matt's in. Emplava stays out.
He does. Matt is in the pits. I'm going to give you an idea on this one, how long this pit lane is, and as you can see, Matt trundling along.
So here's the thing. This is going to be the question, Kelly. Matt obviously into the pits. He should have a relatively quick stop.
He's been quite good at these this season, hasn't he?
He has, but being here at Long Beach, if he gets stuck in traffic, that's the problem. He could get held up.
Where's he going to come out? Who's going to be behind him? At the moment, I don't think he's going to have whoever that is coming down the main straight now. There's a couple of cars around.
A long pit stop for him.
Yeah, it wasn't hugely long, but not sharp
That sounds
either.
like a Lamborghini. That sounds like Welshie.
There's one through, and another one's going to come through.
That sounds like a McLaren to me, and it is DJ Phil.
DJ Phil in the Ferrari-looking McLaren.
Yeah, so he's going to be behind DJ Phil at this stage as Matt exits the pits. Just skims the yellow line, just skims it.
Yeah, it's enough. It's all right. Typical race car driver. If there's a rule, you don't break it, you just bend it to as much as you can get away with.
So what does Emperava do at this stage? Lap 14, he's in the final sector now. Does he pit this lap? That's the question.
Yes, he does.
Emperava's in, so everyone now has done their pit stops.
This is now, if Emplava has a better pit stop, he was only like half a second behind. If he has a marginally better pit stop, he could jump Matt in the pit. Where is Matt now? Matt is coming down the back straight, and DJ Phil's not a problem. He hasn't really got anything to worry about with anybody in front of him. Emplava is still going down the pit lane. It's a long pit lane. As I said, it's depressingly long at 37 miles an hour. He's into his pit box. He needs a quick stop on this one to put him back into play and give him track position.
He's off.
Yeah, it might have been better than Matt's. We don't know. Here comes Matt. He's down.
This is going to be interesting. No, I think Emplava's got this.
Oh, maybe.
Matt coming through turn 1.
I'm not going to jump any more camera views because this thing doesn't pick up quickly.
Gone through Bridgestone, and that is it. Matt has lost out, and he's back into second place position. Emplava with the better pit stop is back in the lead of this race. But look how quick that Matt got onto the back of him.
That was close. That was really close. Now Emplava could be. He needs half a lap to get those tyres back where he wants them, and Matt has got his car exactly where he wants it. So he's got to attack right now if he wants to get past Emplava. Or he could.
This has got to be the widest Audi that Emplava's ever driven. This could be his first race win here, and he's got to hold the pressure. If he can hold it anywhere, it's here at Long Beach, and he's only got to worry about 2 areas. This corner here, he needs to make sure he gets a good run out of there while he goes through Seaside View, and then when he comes out of the hairpin, he needs good traction out those 2 corners, because Matt then can't get close to him.
Yes, indeed. He needs a good run out of that hairpin, as you say. He needs to get on the power nice and cleanly, but not too much wheel spin, not too much slide, but get that power going. That was nice through the hairpin, and I think he got the power down pretty well there, so I think Matt won't get it this lap. But then he's in the slip. He's only just half a second behind. But I think Emplava's going to hold him off for this lap anyway.
This is great racing from these guys, and
brilliant racing.
So far, the Bro-Am boys are doing a great job here at Long Beach, managing to stay away from the walls. We're not having too many incidences as well as some of the Latvian guys are saying, "Back off, Matt." They want him to have his first win here at Simplay Motorsport, and Emplava so far has done everything right. He just needs to stay away from the walls. Oh, he's hit the wall. He hits
the wall. That's exactly, you say that. Those tyres are absolutely rock solid. That's given Matt the opportunity through that slippery corner again, Dan. Emplava went wide, and that's given Matt back. Let's hope Emplava hasn't got too much damage on his car. I was going to say, I mean, all you Latvian guys surely want Emplava to take this on merit and not for Matt to give it to him, and Matt certainly isn't going to give it to him. Emplava's going to have to fight this one all the way, and that little mistake now, that puts him back on the back foot. But it ain't over yet, Dan.
But this is what's been Emplava's problem this season. It's not that he's been making big mistakes. He just makes one little one, and Matt is there to concede. But Emplava's still on the inside of Matt.
Oh, and he makes that was opportunist, wasn't it? That was what I was talking about. A move there earlier on. But you've got to be working with the other guy. I think. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit optimistic. He's certainly telling Matt that, look, I'm racing, I'm coming.
He is he's wanting every opportunity to get back in front of that Acura. He's probably sick and tired of looking at the back of that Acura this season, and he'll probably want to make sure he gets past it. And Emplava trying everything he possibly can, but what damage has he sustained? That is the question. As Matt is now trying to extend his gap, and I think now Matt's been released, he should be able to just extend the gap a little bit to Emplava. But turn 5, we need to keep an eye on turn 5, because Welshie in the background has a spin.
Yeah, turn 5 seems to be the tricky one, Dan. Turn 5 and just into Firestone as well. That seems to be the ones that all these guys are struggling with. And I've certainly had my moments in them in practice. I mean, I've put a lot of miles around this track. And yeah, there's certainly a place I've dropped it repeatedly.
These two, like the guys in the comments are saying, these guys having great racing here between these two this season. 100% says Mike. To Mike says Disco. Great respect given and some little contact has made. So Emplava lifted. He gave Matt his advantage back. And Fury's mum in the comments saying, "Come on, Matt." These two have really set the level in Pro-Am this season, haven't they, Kelly? And they've gone near enough every circuit, and they've been this close near enough every round.
Yeah, Dan, Matt had struggled out the hairpin there, got a bit wiggly on the power. Is this going to give Emplava the run as they go into turn 1? He's close, but he thinks better of it. Matt had a bit of a wiggle, as I said, was putting the power down out of the hairpin. And but yes, you're quite right. These guys have gone at it wheel to wheel. This is the kind of racing we love at Simplay, isn't it? Wheel to wheel, but clean, respectful, and two good competitors going wheel to wheel.
A couple other fights going out on track. I believe Smithy and Dean are relatively close to one another as well, so they're battling it out for those few places. As Dean's there currently in 7th. As
Smokey on the back of Smithy, and we're going to have to jump back to these guys. Can Emplava's having another look?
They seem to be catching one another in weird opportunities, the weird sections. They need to get good tractions. That Audi, I think, has a little bit more straight line speed, but now Matt has to take the pressure that he's been given Emplava. Emplava can now give that pressure to Matt, and we knew that Emplava made a mistake, so can Matt make the mistake? And I know he's been struggling here, so I really don't mind who wins. This has been a great fight between these two, as Smokey and Smithy are still going at it as well. They're coming up into turn 1. I think they're side by side.
As I said, the cameras are a bit lack to crack on, but yeah, you're quite right. As they go into turn 1, Smokey's put one over on Smithy into that first turn. One of the probably the best overtaking opportunity, isn't it, Dan? Turn 1.
Yeah, turn 1 and probably into Firestone as well. But Smithy just losing out there to Smokey. Still good points for him at this minute, and he's still going for the man who wasn't even thinking he was going to be racing. But Ukbar, as Disco says in the comments, shout out to Ukbar. Great comeback from him. Ukbar with a solid drive, even though he's a lap down. This has been a great drive from him, and he's now starting to match the leaders after they're starting to fight one another.
Yeah, as you say, though, he's a lap down, so, a great recovery drive from Ukbar. We know this guy's got talent. He's just had a real run of bad luck this season. He's there in the background, but he's a lap down with it. And that's the pace of these guys in the front. Ukbar, the very best of the rest. And he's got a sizable lead over, he's got, 8 seconds or so over Welshie as well. And there are not too many battles on track at the moment. This is really the only one that's going on. And for those of you who are new and haven't heard me drip on about it before, we don't get a whole load of different views that you do. Unlike a TV studio, we get a little marker on our screen to tell us who's within a second of each other. And at the moment, these guys are the only two that are close to each other. That's starting to drop Emplava a little bit, Dan.
Yeah, but just noticed as well, look what's in front of Matt on the track map. There's 3 cars, and one of them is Smithy. He has no rear wing. They have to start clearing traffic, and Emplava can use this to start putting Matt back under pressure. Now, traffic's going to be the key for these two to clear as quickly as possible, so Matt has to worry about cars in front and obviously Emplava behind. And right now, Emplava needs to put that pressure on. But at the stage, Matt leads the race. Emplava 2nd, Ukbar 3rd, 4th is Welshie, 5th is Stealth Sloth. Brilliant drive from Stealth Sloth and DJ Phil in 6th place. Dean 7th, 8th Smokey, and bringing up the rear is Smithy, who was not looking forward to driving this track anyway.
Yes, indeed, as we come round into the hairpin. Again, the last hairpin, as you can see. Emplava, Matt goes a little bit deep, no real harm done, gets good traction out of the corner, starts to pull away along the long straight.
You say Matt went deep, he deliberately went wide so he could get traction out the corner. So
he missed the apex, but as you say, he had that rolling momentum to get the traction. You're quite right.
Definitely. So Matt taking a lot more curb than Emplava
different lines. Yeah, different lines for these guys, isn't it?
Yeah, Emplava seems a lot stronger through sector 1 than Matt, especially turn 5 here. Matt seems to really be struggling here.
It's What you say? Yeah, you said that. That turn 5 is threading the eye of a needle a little bit. If you get up on the curb on the right-hand side, that's what destabilises the rear end. But if you go too deep, like Emplava just did, you end up touching the wall. It is threading the eye of the needle, that one.
As Matt gets really close to that inside wall there. Smithy back into the pits once again. Let's go on board with some other cars as they haven't... Hello?
That's me, and I've given my phone to Hayley. She can deal with that. And who else is close to? Problem is, I jump off this, and you know what's going to happen, don't you?
We'll stick with these into turn 1. We'll stick with these guys into turn 1. You see there, Smokey just in the foreground there, just ahead of these two. So soon, in a minute, Smokey will have to deal with these two. And guys, there's 29 of you currently watching, and we've only got 20 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe to the channel as well. Do it for these two because they are putting on a fantastic show for you tonight. Hit the bell to be notified for when we're live, and make sure you tune in tomorrow night as the pros will be hitting the track. I'll be attacking the curb on turn 5 tomorrow, and you carry on doing that, Disco. When you go around, I'll quite happily take the position away from you. Emplava has a look into turn 5 there. Oh, Matt has a wiggle.
Yes, indeed. As I said, I don't want to jump off this battle because it's still raging along, and yeah, I want to see you attacking that turn 5, Disco. I'll be attacking the flower bed, that's for certain sure.
Matt's now flashing Disco. He wants him out of the way. Matt really flirting with the walls here. Sorry, yeah, Smokey. He's flashing at Smokey to say, get out of my way. And we're coming through, and Emplava's right behind me. And the way these two are shaped, the cars-wise, Smokey won't see that Audi because it's right on the back of that Acura.
Yes, and what the view we see, of course, is Matt probably sees Smokey as reasonably close.
Which is harder, says PM Motorsport, Long Beach or Monaco?
Monaco. Long Beach is a pussy. It's easy.
I think Long Beach is just a different type of circuit, isn't it? I assume I'll be in front of you, Dan. I assume I'll be in front of you to begin with, Dan. Probably. That BMW seems to have good quality pace, but it seems to lack a little bit in race. Is how I seem to judge it. But I'm hoping that I won't be behind you. I've been trying to tweak it, so hopefully it'll work.
Oh, look at all this traffic, Dan.
Smithy's getting right out the way.
Compromises their turn-ins for both of them, though.
Does, definitely, and Smithy really didn't make life easy for Emplava nor Matt there, but they go through the sector. They've lapped these cars multiple times, these two.
Yes, they have, and...
DJ Phil with damage to the rear wing, so that's going to allow Dean up into 6th place position.
He is in a minute, yeah.
Let's go on board with those two, because this is what's going to cause chaos between these two, DJ Phil and Dean. As DJ Phil goes wide, he wants to get into the pits, but he can't do so because Dean's in the way. Oh, this is going to get messy,
indeed.
I think.
And the leaders are coming. Look at this. Dean's going to have a look up the inside into the official turn 1.
The official turn 1, yeah.
Yeah, gets the job done. Matt flashing his lights like mad. He wants through, and he wants through quickly. He doesn't want to be held up. Doesn't want to be held up by either of these. DJ Phil's got out of the way with no real problems.
They've caught Dean at the worst
right
time.
There in the flower bed. Where could Dean go? He could have possibly pulled out and gone deeper. This gives Emplava the opportunity to be right on the back of Matt.
Emplava right against the wall. I know they're in the same party, probably Dean and Matt, and he's probably screaming at Dean, get out the way.
He probably is screaming, give me room! Like he was in the Formula 1. Emplava looking around the outside. He's going to be brave to get it done there. Cutback. Switches back.
This is the final lap. I just realised. This is the final lap. So Emplava has to do it now or never. Matt is under pressure. Yeah. He's slow out that corner. Emplava has to run. He's going to the inside. Matt needs to make his one move. So, Emplava to the outside of Firestone. Can he get the job done on the final lap here? Matt breaks. Emplava going around the outside, who had the inside for Indy left. They're side by side. They're going through the final corner here into the hairpin. Matt's just there. Who's going to get the traction? Matt's pushed him into the wall. They've hit each other.
Oh, look at that. And Emplava had to go for it. He's got nothing to lose behind, and unfortunately they come together in the very last hairpin. Matt takes the win from Enplava.
Where's Ugbar?
Sorry?
Where's Ugbar? We want to see Ugbar across the line. As there is Ugbar. What a recovery drive from those, but that will definitely...
recovery drive.
Sorry, go back to the mat and... I say that, and Ugbar drops it there, but...
yeah, he's got a little bit of time.
That will be reviewed as Matt and Enplava, so we'll have a look at that at some point, but nonetheless, Matt takes the race win, and Enplava in second, but this man will finally get some good luck his way. Ugbar will come home for third place position. We're just waiting on Welshie then into the hairpin. Good stuff from Welshie to score some decent points in fourth place position, and Stealth Sloth will come home in fifth. So good stuff there from Stealth Sloth as well. Brilliant points for MC Motorsport. I think that's who we're waiting on now. Stealth Sloth coming into the final hairpin. Yeah, brilliant stuff from Stealth Sloth. I've got to say, he's done a great job tonight.
Solid, yeah, solid.
He looks happy with that as well.
He does look happy, yeah, absolutely. And he's everyone else is more laps down. So the final result, Matt takes the win from Enplava. From Ugbar, gets on the podium. Welshie in fourth. Stealth Sloth with a good drive in 15. What could have been in sixth place. Smoky Devil comes seventh. DJ Phil in eighth. And poor old Smithy with no luck this week, and a very tired baby in ninth.
Yeah, so that is your order for race one. Make sure you tune in a couple of minutes' time as we will get race two underway. The top 5 can't qualify, so Matt, Enplava, Ugbar, Welshie and Stealth Sloth all can't qualify for race 2, so make sure you tune in for that. But for a minute we will be right back with this moment's break. I think we're clear. Unlucky, mate. Unlucky.
Yeah, a little bit, but that was really awesome.
It looked good from our point of view anyway. It looked like you two had a great race.
It was great racing.
Yeah. Next time.
Are you happy now, Matt?
I'm so annoyed at myself. Am I happy with what anyway? I don't listen to the stream.
I was backing you up.
Oh, thank you. I'm so annoyed at myself, man.
Why?
I backed you up for quali.
Quali.
I backed you up for quali and then you got 2 penalties.
Oh man!
So I thought that was hilarious.
I pressed it. So I pressed the limit and I went. And then I must have caught the limit with my thumb.
You know what it is,
I'm
don't you?
so annoyed. What?
You know what it is? Commentator's curse. Dan was backing you for part.
I honestly
real.
I thought that was going to be your win, to be honest. You look solid.
What happened at the end there, Ren?
You mean the last corner?
Yeah.
On my screen, you basically drove diagonally, and I had nowhere to go but the wall.
I had full lock on my wheel, so I'm not sure what happened there. I was struggling out last corner every lap. Every lap I had a wiggle.
Just gotta wait for Ukbar to get into the
Every lap.
You were really catching me on the first corner.
Back in 2 seconds, Dan. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm going to nip to Lou a minute.
Yeah, no worries.
Tree, send me an invite, please, Dan.
What have you done?
I've just deleted him. Keep with. I've really got to be with you at that final corner to get a run down into turn 1.
Yeah.
If you have a bit of a gap, I'm not in the slipstream. Your Audi's just gone. Fair play to you. Right, top what can't qualify, Dan? Top 5, is it?
Top 5. So yourself,
Right, so that
Emperor,
was-
Ukbar, and the 2 MC Motorsport boys.
Yes, so Welshie and Stovsloth, that needs to go yellow. Ukbar, good drive from Ukbar, because he had an early stop, didn't he?
Yeah, he did lose the rear wing, and I do think that was sustainable enough damage. He had to pit early. He did lose the rear wing.
Rear wings, 100%, mate.
Yeah, so I'm
Rear
happy
wings,
to leave that.
100%.
I'm
Yeah.
just waiting for him to get into the party. I've invited him. I'll message him.
Oh, right, let me update these tables. So that's that, and that, and then that, and that for tonight.
Tell you what, you Pro-Am boys kept it relatively clean around there. Not many people
Yeah,
in the wall.
Didn't seem too bad.
Sure,
I tell you what, and you are close every lap to them. Oh, which one is it? Oh, fucking
4 or
hell.
5?
You know where you come down before the back section? There's like that tyre wall, isn't there, before it goes to the concrete wall?
Oh yeah.
Every lap, you are pretty much brushing that. Every single lap. I'm sure like there's been a few puffs of smoke where you've like just brushed it, and I'm like, he's hit the wall. Every lap I was slightly behind you like, he's hit the wall, he's hit the wall, he's hit the wall.
I was looking in my rear view mirror and I thought the same thing, that you topped the wall a few times.
Yeah, I brushed it a couple of times, yeah. Struggled.
Well done, Ukbar. Good recovery, mate.
Yeah, thanks.
I think that early
There is not an English driver on this podium.
I guess that rear wing helped you out a little bit. Coming in early.
Yeah.
Matt,
yeah,
you know what is...
I was wondering if I could make it up, but
Still second. Third place though, considering these two are lapping in like just 18s and 19s.
Oh yeah, who got fastest lap?
You did.
You.
Alright.
I have a question.
I'm back.
Yes.
What's the pole point? If
You get the pole point. You get it.
Okay.
You took pole. I got mid-grid penalty, so you get the point for pole position.
Okay.
Right, are we all ready to go?
Ready to go when you are done.
Okay, sweet. Right. You updated tables, Matt.
Tables are updated and ready to rock and roll.
Sweet. I think you boys beat the qualifying pole record.
Sweet.
Which
Yes.
was Rabbit Joe 119.3. Yeah, you blitzed that.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was smashed.
You were 2/10 off. 2/10 off of Andy's, I think. Was it 17.5 you did, wasn't it, man?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
Long
2/10
Beach the
off.
first time round on non-setup?
No, setups.
No,
were
season 2.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Does the red bit mean that they can't now win the championship?
The red bit now, so this is where this is like a little gadgets. The red bit means they are done. They are they cannot win the title. But DJ Phil still got round 2 of double points, and Brendan Stelsloff both have their double points, as does Ukbar. So even though Ukbar Dean's, actually that's fine. Ukbar's still in it at the minute. So Stelsloff and Brin can still technically win it. Can still technically come back, because they've got their double points to use, but unlikely.
Have you got plenty of questions, Dan, or do you need me down?
Right, 3,
Yeah, you can do it.
Oh, I can
3,
do it, can I?
2, 1, live.
Welcome back to Simplay Motorsport, and we got race 1 out the way. Top 5 can't qualify, so Matimovic, Enprava, Ukbar, Welshie, and Stelsloth all can't qualify for this race. The tables have been updated, and it looks like this. Matimovic still leads the way with a 65-point gap over Enprava in second. Third is Ben Parkey. and 4th place is Laney. Smoky Devil catching those guys ever so slowly. He is now only 4 points behind Laney. The Welshie now in 6th place position, not too far behind him as well. Smithy still in 7th place with Dean in 8th place as well. Ukbar in 9th, 10th is Stelsloth, 11th is Bryn, and 12th is DJ Phil. The two drivers who are taking their double points this evening, it's the two that you're seeing on track. It is DJ Phil and Dean Wasocki, who are both on double points this evening. Sweet and Sour Motorsport have a 200-point gap over Audi Sport in 2nd place, MC Motorsport in 3rd, 4th place is Rainbow Prolapse, and 5th is Team Prolapse. Not Fast, Just Furious is 6th place, 7th is Smoky Racing, 8th is Metal M Racing, and 9th is Powerline Racing as well. As we got the top 3 in the commentary box with us now. And Ukbar, a bit of a quiet race for yourself, a little bit of chaos in early part of the race, but nonetheless, called it back to a podium, your first time on the podium for a while.
Yeah. And, I lost my rear wing, so I did it after the end of the first lap. And I was wondering how close by I was going to get when the others were going to hit. And I was surprised there must have been some damage, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Ukbar, you've had a bit of an unlucky season this year, haven't you? And managed to be in some incidents and not your fault really. How does it feel to be back on the podium?
That feels good. So I'm very happy with it. So, I hit the wall a couple of times, but it was completely my fault. So yeah,
yes,
I'm happy with it.
Yes, indeed. And for the next race, what do you think you can do in the next race? Are you enjoying this circuit? Do you think the next race will be positive for you?
I hope so. I hope the whole grid is getting clean. We have the first couple of corners. So if I manage to get through, I hope I can fight for the podium again.
Yeah, well, we'd love to see you back on the podium, and I think you deserve a few more. I think you're a much better driver than the kind of season you've had, really. So we wish you all the best of luck in race 2, and hopefully you'll have a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
We now move on to the 2nd place man, and what a fight between these two, fighting all the way to the very end onto lap 24. Emprava, once again, the race win just slips out of your grasp. But you must have fully enjoyed that. Literally 24 laps of racing against Matt, and it came down to the wire. How do you feel?
It's mixed emotions because it was a really good fight, but I didn't get the win. Yeah, like you said, I battled him for the whole 24 laps. The only time where we were separated by more than a few seconds was when he pitted and then I. Yeah, it was a really enjoyable fight. Had some small contact, larger contact, but Robin's racing.
Robin's racing indeed, the classic quote from Days of Thunder. And what have you got to do to get this first win? I mean, it was a cracking good race to watch. And I said in the stream, you're a cool customer. You don't seem to get very flustered. But did you feel the pressure from Matt? Was it a stressful race for you?
Yes, it was, because he was really close, and I knew that if I made even a small mistake, he had a really good chance to pass me, and yeah, I think I drove just a bit too late and went wide, and yeah, he got the better run.
I think that first win's got to come for you sooner or later. You can't keep sitting on the podium without a win, so it's only a matter of time, I believe. What do you think you can do in race 2?
I think I can do the same. I think I start in front of Matt, so that makes my chances of winning bigger. Just have to stay out of trouble. This track is very tricky.
Indeed.
So yeah, stay out of trouble and try my best.
Well, we wish you the very best of luck, and we look forward to that first win when it comes, sooner rather than later, we hope.
Yeah, cheers.
Congratulations, mate. And now we move on to your race winner, and basically the same question to you, Matt. 24 laps of constant bumper-to-bumper racing here at Long Beach. You must be pretty happy with that result.
That was absolutely insane. Do you know what? I cannot thank Emplava for signing up enough, because this season has been so enjoyable to race against him week in, week out. The guy's just an absolute beast. He's an absolute beast of a driver, and that first win's around the corner. You know, but what 24 laps around such a tight circuit like this? Oh,
Yeah.
You have got to thank one other person, and that other person is sat in this commentary box right now.
Kelly?
No.
Oh, don't know then.
I'm actually surprised that you didn't have an horrendous race, because Dan was in your corner tonight and was backing you.
Oh.
I was backing N, and he was backing you for the win. So I don't know if he needs to thank you, Dan. I think he needs to.
No. He needs to thank me, because his setup was completely wrong. So,
Right, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
this should have been Emplava's win. This should have been Emplava's win.
We'll move on from that one very swiftly, I reckon.
Well, there we go. So, Matt, you know that and you'll probably be just as happy when that day comes that Emplava gets that first win. You guys were so close. I mean, it really was anybody's race. Do you think it's going to be the same for race 2?
A bit harder race 2. We're both at the back of the pack, both on the back row. This obviously brings back for the second race. That adds an extra driver onto what is a tight grid on a reverse grid race. It's just going to be difficult. It's going to be a case of see who can get through the traffic best, I think, and then see where we are after the first 4 or 5 laps, see where we are on the track and see what happens. But that Audi is mighty strong on a straight line. I feel I've got the advantage through the corners, but this is Long Beach, and you just... Unless you're alongside each other, there's not a lot of... he's not got to park the car in the wrong place. You can park it on the racing line to turn into the corner, and there's not a lot of room to go up the inside and get the job done. So I think it's a case of see where we are after 4 or 5 laps and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a case of getting through the traffic and hope there's no mayhem in front of you that you're going to get involved in. But best of luck, Matt.
Cheers,
we look forward to another scrap with you and Emplava, and keep it all together.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Well done. Just again, congrats to Emplava for a fantastic battle.
cheers, Matt.
Yes, indeed.
And, we just had news just come in from Smithy saying if I have to retire or leave, then a great night of racing guys who have turned up. Horrible track. Cheers, N-Dubs and KLF for the catch up with you tomorrow night. So obviously, with his kids, he's looking after his kids tonight. He will suddenly have to disappear if need be. But nonetheless, Kelly, Ukbar and Emplava and Matt all seem to be relatively happy. They should be off into their own chats now. But it should be an interesting race 2 ahead, as Smokey has got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So I don't know how much of a penalty he has, but at the minute it's Dean on pole position.
One grid place there for Smokey, and yes, it is Dean on provisional pole. With not much left of this session, the interviews usually take up this session, we don't get too much chat about it, but it's Dean setting the pace on an 18.6, very well clear of Smokey. Bryn back in, as we said, he served his race ban and is now back in the mix, so they make up your top 3. Some interesting chit chat tonight, very interesting that Andy's back on hard tyres for tomorrow night. Do you think he's just trying to throw you off a little bit, Dan?
Andy can do whatever he likes. It's not going to faze me whatsoever. I've done my testing. I'm happy. I know what lap times I'm doing. I'm not too concerned about the BMWs, if I'm honest. I'm hoping that a little grey Porsche 911 is going to help me out a little bit tomorrow night.
But absolutely, I know the one you mean. There's a couple of guys tomorrow night who are absolutely epic round this track. That being one of them, Gary 131, who's awesome round here, and Dubs, our very own Dan, just here. He's good round this track, and Andy. It's going to make for some very serious racing tomorrow night. So tune in for some more of the same, some more wheel-to-wheel action, and the Pro Grid, and a few more in the Pro Grid as well. And yes, tune in tomorrow night, see if Andy can take another win. If Gary's on form, or Dan's going to make that McLaren work, and if I can not be last. All these questions will be answered tomorrow night. So tune in 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and all those questions will be answered for you.
As it is going to be an all BMW front row, as Dean will take pole position here for the race 2, with Smokey Devil in second. Third is Bryn, but we'll be moving up into second, so Smokey will start third. Fourth is Smithy, fifth is DJ Phil, sixth is Stelsloff, seventh Welshie, eighth is Ukbar, ninth Emprava, and Matt at the back of the grid. How lovely is that? The top 5 are in the order they finished in. I love that. You know, my OCD absolutely loves that. But Dean on pole position, BMW all front row, Kelly race 2. Yep. Who's going to be taking the win here tonight?
I'm going to back Emplava, because I think it's got to come. It's got to come, and it's got to come sometime soon. If Dean keeps his head down and stays consistent, he can have a strong result out of this. I'm backing this guy, Emplava. Dan, what about you?
I really don't know on this one.
Well, you've got to say something, because we have to. You've got to pick somebody.
I'm going to say Dean.
Dean for the win.
Dean
Be
for
nice
the win.
to see.
I think that the boys at the back have got too much work to get through. If they manage to get through without damage, I'll be amazed. But nonetheless, Dean has to just launch off the line and go and stay away. But with Dean and DJ Phil both on double points, can they extend their chances in getting into the championship fight for the mid-pack? And people are now starting to lose their chance to use double points. Rapuna and Laguna are the only places left, and they will be heading to Nürburgring and Spa. What are 2 tracks to finish the season off, Kelly? And
yes.
This championships are going to be decided now. It's pretty much between Matt and Emplava for the championship, but there's still relegation positions as well. Who is going to go up to Pro? Who's going to go down into Pro-Am? This is all the questions we're about to get answered soon. But Kelly, here we go. Race 2.
Yes, indeed. The revs rise. Lights are on. The lights are out, and we are green, and we are going. Dean with an epic start, a real pull off the line, and he's going to have a reasonably clear run into turn 1. Bryn is on the defence from Smithy. Smokey in there as well. The Matt and Emplava made up a couple of places already, but this is where it's going to be interesting.
Smithy.
And Dean's through, Smithy's through, reasonably clean.
That was very good stuff there from the Pro-Am boys. Let's go back to Emprava and Matt. They've jumped many places here, but Smithy is the man on the move. He is up into second place. What a start from Smithy. DJ dropping to the back. Ukbar taking his time, but Matt has jumped Emprava there, and Stelsloff is into the wall. Very well behaved from these guys, as DJ Phil is off. Someone's had a spin by the sounds of things. I think that's Bryn who's gone round.
Yep. Bryn has gone round, and Emplava and Matt working their way up through. They're going round. Matt's trying to go round the outside of Welshie. Smokey's in there as well. This is giving Smithy and Dean an opportunity to get away. So Dean leads with a 2-second gap. We're only halfway round lap 1.
Let's have a look at the guys behind. This is Matt. He's just cleared Welshie. Now he's got a car between him and Emplava, and looks like the Emplava will try and make an opportunity to get past the Lamborghini and stick with Matt. He can't let Matt get away, but nonetheless, great stuff here from these guys. Very clean and very fair all the way through a lap 1 here. And Dean with a 2-second gap as Smoke. Oh no, Dean's dropped it!
Oh no, Dean's round. Dean's dropped it, and he's in a difficult position. He's going to have to let the whole field pass him. This has put Smithy's out of trouble as well. So I don't know if they came together or what happened, if Smithy was avoiding, but this has given Smokey a free pass. Here you go, have the lead. So Matt's in there as well. Welshie in there. Welshie under pressure from Emplava. I think Emplava, come on, cameraman, catch up. What's the matter with these Americans? And Emplava, I think, is going to put the moves on. Oh no, he's being forced to the outside as Welshie has the inside line round the flower bed. Emplava is going to be desperate to get past Welshie and not let Matt get away. Smithy is Smithy is behind
Smithy's
Matt.
dropped it.
that's Emplava stays out of trouble there. He got really lucky there, Dan, and managed to avoid the two crashing Smithy and Welshie, I think that was. So within a lap and a half, it's Matt and Emplava are on the podium, and Matt's already looking at Smokey, and he want to clear Smokey reasonably quickly so he can get away from Emplava, but Emplava is coming.
That Mercedes very fast in a straight line, so it's going to be difficult to Matt to overtake that Mercedes, and that's just going to allow Emplava to get a little bit closer lap by lap. Smokey is really trying to defend this. He wants to finish tonight off with a bang, and at the minute he's in the right position. Matt gets a long side, but that's not enough. The Mercedes front helps him out, and Matt did say the Audi's fast in a straight line, and he is coming now. So Matt really in a sticky situation here. Loads of other fights going on up and down the grid as well, as Ukbar and Smithy are battling it out for 4th and 5th as Matt tries to go round the outside of turn 1. Emplava's gone deep.
Emplava's deep. I think he slowed it down in time, Dan. Damage limitation. I don't think he hit the wall very hard, but he certainly gave it a clip. He's got a headlight out. Is he got damage? Has he got damage? Is he slow?
That's the question as he's going through there. Smokey has a wiggle.
Smokey turn
just
5.
hangs in. He hangs in there, but Matt will be down the inside, and that is Matt through. So this is not what Emplava wants. He does not want to see that going on. But Emplava goes up and tries to catch onto the back of Smokey. He's got the pace to get past him now. But the thing is, that Acura is going to be so vulnerable down the back straight. A couple other fights. Oh,
they all rub the wall. They're all rubbing the wall.
Welshie and Bryn are close to one another. Bryn right onto the back of Welshie as well. So it's all close racing up and down the grid. Also Smithy and DJ Phil batting it out. Welshie with damage is trying to hold off Bryn. I think Bryn's managed to get away with very light damage to his car. As Emplava now right onto the back of Smokey Devil. Matt is now pulled away a little bit, and it's what Matt needs.
Emplava needs to clear Smokey if he's going to have any chance of winning this race. He's going side by side with him. Let's go back trackside, and Emplava is on the outside, and that Merc's still got the pace, look, hasn't it? The Merc's probably the quickest thing in a straight line. So Emplava's got to try and go round the outside. He's going to do it from there, but he might get him into no, he's a bit far back to send one up the inside into the flower bed. This is giving Matt an opportunity to stretch his legs.
Yep, Matt does get an opportunity to pull away, but it's easy to make a mistake here at Long Beach, so Matt has to make sure that he is squeaky clean. Meanwhile, this fight's going on up and down. This is Dean on the back of Stealth Sloth. Dean on a recovery drive after taking pole position. He's back up to 6th place. He's just a little bit eager earlier on in the hairpin. He could have been fighting off the leaders right now. Also, just behind these two is Bryn and Welshie. Bryn has now got past Welshie, and then there's that fight between Smithy and DJ Phil. But Emplava right onto the back of the Mercedes of Smokey.
Yes, indeed. He's got to clear this car if he's going to hunt Matt down for this race win. And
goes down the inside.
Smokey was deep. Smokey was reasonably deep. Emplava didn't need a second invite. He goes right round him at the hairpin. He's going to have the inside line. I think this is job done for this one, Dan. Smokey has to go the long way round. He's going to have... Yeah, he's going to have the Mercedes grunt, and he's going to have the slipstream to send one down into turn 1. So we'll see how this one pans out. Look, the Merc is powerful. But Smokey's up on the high side. Don't want to be up there. That's giving it away.
We're going to be losing Disco in the chat, so good night, Disco. We will see you tomorrow.
Good night, mate.
For the pro. But for these guys at the minute, it's all go. These 4 have pulled away from the rest of the pack. Bryn now is ahead of Dean. What's happened to Dean? He's had another moment. He's now ahead of Stealth Sloth. Stealth Sloth is in early. What damage has Stealth Sloth got? We need to see the car, Kelly, if we possibly can, so I can determine if he's lost the rear wing. That thing's
look at it. It's another one that's twisted, isn't it? Weighing in. That ain't no good to nobody, that thing. Another overgrown Volkswagen, isn't it?
Definitely so. But the other Volkswagen is trying to hunt down Matt in the lead. Now he's cleared Smokey, so Stealth Sloth with damage. And again, I think that's a bit of too much damage for him to run with. So the BMWs have now cleared the Lamborghinis and Smithy and DJ Phil. Hopefully Smithy can hang in there a little bit longer before he has to disappear. So we'll see how he gets on. But Smokey hasn't really dropped Emperor. Matt's dropped it! Matt's made a mistake, I think. Oh no. Yeah, he has! Matt's dropped it!
Right back. What has he done? Has he put damage in that car, Dan?
I don't know. He looks like he's had a spin or something. Matt, lap 5. He can't pit. He's staying out. So Matt's dropped it. Emperor leads this race.
Well, this is a gift. It's Emplaver's Christmas present, I feel, because Matt had a good 3 seconds ahead of him, and Matt's made a mistake, and that's given Emplaver the lead of this race. So Matt now with all the work to do.
Definitely.
This track bites, doesn't it?
Yeah, you really have to be paying attention, and even with the sudden change in weather conditions can really affect it. We haven't really changed where it's been beautiful, clear sunshine all the way through this race, all day. So really, these guys are basically running the same setups. It's just a little bit later in the day, and it might just get a bit hotter, so the tyres might be suffering a little bit more.
Yes, indeed. But I mean, you're quite right. You've got to pay attention all the time, and it could have been a slight lapse of concentration. It's sometimes when you're in a comfortable position, it can bite you in the bum. Because you get a little bit complacent, and then you make a mistake, and then it all flipped on its head.
Bite you in the bum, as Ugbar is now trying to put Matt under a little bit of pressure. As Smokey has dropped it.
Smokey's round in the Firestone corner there again. Lot of easy places, lot of traction, high traction places on this track that are slippery. Matt's into the pits. Is he trying to go for a quick stop?
Or has he got damage to the front of the car? This is the thing. Why is he in this early? Is that crabbing a little bit?
Yeah, it certainly looks like it at the moment. I wouldn't want to, I'd certainly be whipping it up to Quick Fit to have the tracking done.
Who else is in? I think that's Smokey in as well. Smokey into the pits. I think quite a few people will be into the pits on this lap. But
we'll see if it's a quick one or not, or if it's damage he's got to repair.
She's in as well. So
that's not his pit box, obviously.
I can't remember how to do it, but you can set a little green box to come up and say that you are in this pit box, as DJ Phil was also into the pits as well.
A marker.
Like I said, a marker, that is. I can't remember how to assign it.
I've got one on mine.
I've got one, yeah. It's been a while since I signed it. Matt is in for a while. Smokey is gone, but I think Matt's underway. So Matt is going to be under a little bit of pressure from that Mercedes.
He's got to, he's going to be damage limitation for Matt, isn't it? If he's put damage on that car, he's got to be hoping for Emplaver to make a mistake, or he's just going to have to settle for possibly second place, because that's probably where he'll end up. Smokey was ahead of him until he had that little incident.
So as soon as Matt pits, Emplaver's in as well. So is Ugbar going to pit this lap, or is he going to stay out a little bit longer? No, Ugbar's in as well. Everyone coming in relatively early. Dean and Bryn are the only ones so far still yet to pit. So interesting strategy from these guys. Quite
Absolutely,
early.
Dan.
I think Emplaver's just matching whatever Matt does, and Ugbar's just trying to match Matt now, knowing that Matt had damage. So that was a long stop, says Peaceful. So Emplaver missing his pit box. I don't think that's your box, mate.
Don't think that's your box. Oh, see, this could be the mistake. This could be the mistake. You want to put that little green dot on that Dan's talking about. I've got it on, that's for sure.
Where is Matt? Where's Matt on track?
Where is Matt on track? This could be what gives Matt...
he's nowhere near. Nowhere near. I think Matt's was a very, very long stop. Emplaver is literally on pit exit. So's Ugbar.
Yes. Ugbar could be in front of Matt, This is
he will be.
Yes, he will. Where is young Matthew now? He's coming through the turn one, apparently, and Ugbar is well in front of him. So Matt, with everything to do now, he's got to clear Ugbar as well if he wants to put it into second place. But Emplaver net first place at the moment, because we know that Bryn and Dean haven't stopped. So Bryn leads this race at the moment, but hasn't stopped yet for his mandatory pit stop.
So
pit window is... Sorry, Dan, go on.
I was just going to say, we have some very interesting strategies here. Will the BMWs go as long as they possibly can? See, Dean and Bryn seem to do very well when they're on their own. And maybe they're using this advantage while they're on their own and the racing is going hard behind them. They can just extend their gaps a little bit. So Bryn now still leads this race. Dean in second. Is Dean coming to the pits? No. So the Beamers are extending their stints. So maybe they can get the overcut instead of the undercut.
Yeah, Bryn with a 1:22 on the last lap. Dean a second faster, almost on a 1:21.6. And of course, the other guys behind still recovering from their pit stops. Looks like Matt is getting close to Ugbar now. And Smokey just in the background has lost touch just a little bit with Matt. And we got Oh, look at all this going on here. Stealth Sloth with probably the biggest repair bill on rear wings of the season. Lamborghini are probably not happy with him for the amount of rear wings they've put on that car, and he's missing one again, which is holding up DJ Phil in the Ferrari-looking McLaren. And,
but he's still going. That's the main thing. That's what we like to see at Simpler Motorsport. They're not giving up.
Sorry, I thought Ugbard got in front of Matt, but he was in front of Matt. But Matt is getting closer.
He is getting closer lap for lap, but the thing is, once Matt does catch Ugbard, he needs to overtake him. So even though that little Ginetta is quite small, still got to find a way to place it around here at Long Beach as DJ Phil is right on the back of Stealth Sloth. Will Stealth Sloth pit? No, he stays out without the rear wing.
Yeah, he must be getting used to driving that car that way.
As Dean in the background has a wiggle. The thing is, Dean and Bryn are probably looking to try and get out behind possibly Smokey at this stage.
Yeah, Ugbard rubs the wall there just slightly as they come through Firestone, and no real harm done, but he goes deep into it. That's harm done because that's given Matt an advantage. It gives him the traction. Matt's right in his slipstream now, nearly touching the back of that Ginetta. Is he going to send one down into turn one? Highly likely. Probably
the two slowest cars in the championship here, the Ginetta versus the Acura. Matt looks down the inside, Ugbard just sticks to his line and Matt can't do nothing about it, so Ugbard stays ahead. This is the problem Matt's going to have. He needs to clear the Ginetta as quickly as he can, as there's a car off in Sector 2 as Emprava passes that car, but I think it possibly could be Stealth Sloth struggling with no rear wing.
Yeah, it looks like he's just ahead of this group. Matt all over the back of Ugbard now like a cheap suit, and looking for that position, trying to get through.
He is trying to get through. The two BMWs
just really pulled leads out of my controller. I'm so excited. That's better. I just pulled out the lead. And,
Ugbard
in the wall.
There's a Lamborghini in the middle of the track.
Yeah, Matt was looking to make that overtake, and then there's a Lamborghini parked there, but Matt's still looking at it. He's going to send one down the inside, is he not? No, he's not. Ugbard goes deep again. That's it. That was an open door, and Matt went straight through it.
Whatever damage I think Ugbard's got, that's probably hindered him a little bit, and Matt has gone through. So go back to Emprava now. Let's see the gap between Matt and Emprava. It's 8.8 seconds now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of time for them Matt needs to find. But the thing is, Emprava now needs to clear the traffic. There's no cars between Matt and him now. But we'll see how this all pans out.
Yes, indeed, as Bryn's coming up behind DJ Phil to put a lap on him, and DJ Phil's not giving that one particularly easily, it must be said.
No, definitely not.
He doesn't have to, of course.
No, he doesn't, but at the minute this is hurting Bryn and Dean's run to try and stick onto the back of Ugbard and Smokey, and at the minute DJ Phil making a little bit of a nuisance as these two rub doors a little bit.
Yeah.
DJ Phil lifts and Bryn gets his way through. A little bit close there from those two. Bryn didn't really need to get that close to DJ Phil, but he clears him nonetheless. Now Dean's onto the back. Bryn's dropped it.
Oh, damage as well. Dean managed to avoid all that like he's doing a slalom as he tries to negotiate round Bryn's spinning car and DJ Phil.
Bryn is in.
He's probably got damage as well, so probably just took his opportunity to get round. But again, DJ Phil being a lap car, he doesn't have to get out of the way, but he doesn't have to fight this hard either, to be fair, as Dean is the leader of this race, and he's trying to put some gap on as many people as he can, so when he makes his pit stop, he comes up as high as possible. So DJ Phil's just hindering that a bit.
This will be frustrating Dean like mad. He knows the rest of the pack are coming at him relatively quickly, and he is stuck behind the red McLaren of DJ Phil. Oh no, Bryn, that was some good work too. Little Leach in the comments saying evening all. Little Leach and Gary, I've got to say, in that Porsche, the little bit of testing that we did see is DJ Phil drops it and puts it in the wall. The two Leachy boys in the Porsche with not a lot of testing straight out the bat. We're in the 17s from what I've seen, so keep an eye on both of the Leachy brothers tomorrow.
Do you know what's going to be a factor for both of the Leachy brothers tomorrow?
Their daddy duties?
Fatherhood, that's going to be the issue. Craig last week missed the start of the race because he was inspecting his baby's poo. True story. And didn't ready up. And Gary missed practice last week because he was putting the baby to bed. So it's fatherhood for the Leach brothers. They're finding it that it's a change of lifestyle, and that is a hindering factor for them. That's fatherhood. It's a full-time commitment.
As we go through into a lap 13, Dean still leads this race, but still yet to pit. Everyone bar Dean is left to pit. Emprava has brought that gap down to less than 3 seconds, I believe. So 2 seconds, that is. So he is on his way. Matt, just in the background, is lapping 7/10 faster than Emprava. So Matt's slowly creeping onto the back of him, but not fast enough. Uqbar still just behind Matt at this stage, with Smoky Devil in that 5th place position at the minute. And then we drop quite a way back to Bryn, who has managed to stay out ahead of Welshie in 7th place position. So Bryn, not too bad for him. Welshie in 7th place. As you see in the background, Stealth Sloth hits the wall. DJ Phil in 8th at this stage. Stealth Sloth in 9th, and Smithy still going in 10th place position. And with a load of drivers not here, they still will score decent points. A reminder, DJ Phil and Dean are both on double points.
Yes, indeed. So Dean needs to work the strategy best he can. Now Emplava has cruised up behind him. It's going to give him pressure now. What Dean doesn't need, he's not fighting Emplava. He doesn't need to fight him too hard, because all he's doing, it will be losing time fighting him. If it was me, I'd let him go.
Yeah, if I was Dean, I'd be letting him go as well. As they go down into turn 1, Dean also trying to help out his friend Matt into turn 1 there, but Emprava makes that done relatively easy, right, and he now leads this race. Dean focusing on his race more importantly. He needs those points to get him closer to his fight in the championship with Smithy, Welshie and Smokey, all these guys relatively close on points. So this is what Dean will be wanting to do right now.
Yes, indeed. As is that Welshie getting out of the way?
Stealth Sloth.
Stealth Sloth getting out of the way. He's got a new rear wing. Hopefully Lamborghini are not charging him for them, because he's had a few.
Definitely so, as Smokey is still relatively close to these guys as well. He's not too far off the pace of Uqbar, so hopefully Smokey can stay within reach and hopefully pick up some points if anyone makes a mistake. And I think this tonight has been quite a surprise as we get to lap 14. These Pro-Am boys have really dealt with the challenge of Long Beach tonight, Kelly, and it makes me a little bit... Yeah, they have, and it makes me a little bit worried what's going to happen tomorrow night.
Well, you know what happens when Pro-Ams are good, don't you? Usually the pros are
horrendous.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. There's usually chaos. So tune in tomorrow night, because there could well be chaos in the pros. If the Pro-Ams are usually good.
I think it was the last time we ran Long Beach. The Pro-Ams were very well behaved, and in the pros it was just chaos, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, there was a race last season. We couldn't. I can't even remember who was talking about it, but I think it was me and Matt and a few others were talking about it. We couldn't remember what race it was, but the Pro-Ams were very well behaved and some great racing, and then the pros were atrocious. So let's see if history repeats itself. Could well do in this track.
Could well do for sure.
I can remember seeing the accident. There was a huge accident in Pro, and it took out loads of people, but I can't remember what track it was.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but nonetheless, myself and Kelly are quite glad.
It was Dubai.
Was it Dubai?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. Coming up the hill in the first lap, there was absolute chaos, I think.
So either way, Dubai, I think it's Kelly. I think Long Beach was the one on the last time we ran Long Beach. And the other crazy thing is, Kelly, that I think we figured out the other day, so I just noticed Matt has got past Dean already, so Dean's made a mistake somewhere. The last time we ran Autumn Park and Long Beach was exactly a year ago in the same order, so we went straight from Autumn Park to Long Beach. So Dean now was into the pits. So 1 year exactly, we raced Autumn Park and Long Beach. How mad's that? And that's the last time we've driven these circuits.
Yes, indeed. And the Lamborghini boys having fun. I think they're a lap. I think Stealth's a lap down on Welshie, but they were having fun. But Matt coming up behind these now. Stealth got out of the way reasonably quickly. Welshie's a considerate driver. I'm sure he's going to jump right out of the way as well as Matt comes through. And I think this is, unless Emplava has a bit of a problem now, this could be his first race win coming his way. Because Matt's got 10 seconds now behind Emplava, and they're lapping Emplava in the 19.1 the last lap, Matt doing a 19.8. So yeah, Matt with everything to do, and giving Welshie a flash to say thank you very much, or you didn't get out of the way quick enough. I don't know which. Don't know if it was a friendly or an aggressive. Couldn't really tell. Ugbar into third place again. Another strong drive for Ugbar. Got to be a contender for driver of the day tonight, hasn't he?
Well, I don't know. I feel like one person will give me grief if I don't give them driver of the day tonight.
Oh, you don't have to give it just because he gives you peer pressure.
I gotta say Ugbar is doing a solid job, but you got to mention Emplava as well. Stelsloth for race 1 as well. He's good, consistent race for race 1. So yeah, it could go to anyone. Smokey as well with a good race 2 at this stage. I don't like to be the one who always picks the guy who wins all the races, as like I said, as does most other people. But get your driver of the day in the votes, and we will reward the driver with that by the fans. And it's definitely a talking point. Who is driver of the day this evening? And you've got to look at this man for a vote. You've got to look at Matt as well. But I think Ugbar, after such a poor run of races, it's finally nice to see Ugbar finally get some luck, and he's on the podium step as Welshie's dropped down to 8. So what's happened to Welshie? He's dropped right back. He's got damage to the front of his car. DJ Phil's got past him as well. So DJ Phil on double points will gain a few more points over his championship rivals. And it's been, I'll tell you what, Kelly, it's been a very safe run from these Pro-Am boys here at Long Beach.
Yeah, and maybe it's because the track is tricky and it is a street track that they've just taken a little bit more caution with it now.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think also with the less number of drivers, some of the Prolapse boys not able to race, kind of just gives them a chance to kind of give each other space, give each other room on this tight, twisty circuit. And it's produced some great racing nonetheless between especially Emplava and Matt.
Yes, indeed. We've had some great racing for them all up and down the season, but we've still got lots of races to go yet as well. What have we got? 3 rounds left after this one. Ruapuna.
4 rounds.
Ruapuna next?
Rapuna is next. Ruapuna, whatever Haley's gonna...
You pronounce the A. You pronounce the A, that's the way it's done. Ruapuna is next, and then Laguna, just to have a rhyming couple of tracks one after another, isn't it?
Yep.
And then the season finale at Spa.
No, we have 4 rounds left, Kelly. We still have Nürburgring, which is a night race.
Ah, yes. I apologise. Nürburgring before Spa?
Yes, before Spa. Spa is our finale.
Okay, I'm going to throw it out there, Dan, and I've been meaning to say it on commentary for a couple of weeks now. Audio Sport, our sponsor, just in case any of you don't pay attention, is my company and is sponsored the championship. Last year I gave out canvases and like a canvas print of the positions, top 3 in Pro-Am, top 3 in Pro, and the Constructors' Championships. They all got a canvas with their cars on it and so on and so forth. We didn't make too much fuss of it. Not a lot of people knew. Even the competitors didn't know. Well, Audio Sport will be giving a trophies again for first, second, third in both categories and for the Constructors. I'm going to throw it out over a couple of nights and kind of get a gauge of what people want. Do we want canvases again? Would we prefer a trophy? Or is there any other kind of prize that people would want within reason? Do you know what I mean? I'm not giving away Porsche GT3s or £50 notes. Do you know what I mean? You know, something sensible, of course.
Can I
yourself,
have,
Dan?
Can I have the I think it's the front left panel of a Toyota Avensis touring car?
Funnily enough, Dan, yeah, I've got one of them. I've got the front left wing of a Toyota Avensis touring car, and I've got the right one as well.
What about a rear diffuser for a Honda Civic?
For a Honda Civic, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, touring car, Honda Civic, yeah, I've got that as well. Hung up in the workshop.
Can I have it signed by all the Pro and Pro-Am drivers?
That might be tricky logistically.
We'll take it to Donington Park, where most of the drivers will be meeting up.
So, if you got comments in the comments, what you think the prize should be that Audio Sport provides within reason. Let's not, like a yacht or anything stupid like that. A trophy, canvas.
I think a small trophy would be
bikini,
nice.
Rosettes.
DJ Phil, a little wiggle rosette, anything really. The bikinis myself and Kelly are wearing right now on the beach while we're commentating.
Rainbow
this race.
ones.
Yeah,
Prolux,
definitely rainbow ones.
Yeah.
Matt's made a big mistake somewhere. He's 15 seconds off the back of Emplava as someone's in the wall. I think it's Welshie's in the wall again by the looks of things. Yeah, he's been in the wall. So many mistakes now. We're getting to the hotter temperatures here. And a lot of people are making a lot of mistakes here. Regarding to your question, Jamie, yes, I have mentioned Dean going backwards down the pit lane and his AI deciding to disqualify him.
Yeah, we got that one.
We got that one in. We've also got the one where Pro was absolutely chaos, other than Pro-Am. I can't remember other fun facts about Long Beach, but Long Beach, I think, for the Pro-Ams have been good this season. They've been relatively good. They stayed out of trouble, and they've. I haven't written much in my notes. I think it's the most the least amount I've written in my notes, so that's good.
And I don't think we've had anybody retire either. No. Anyway, from disconnection, from damage or tantrum.
You say that now, someone will disconnect.
Yeah, it'd be crazy with 21 laps in. So
it's all right. Jamie's not racing, so we should be all right.
Oh, that was a blow. That was.
Well, he's got poor disconnection. Hopefully, if he makes a return to season 6.
I don't know what his internet is like nowadays. Jamie, do you still have to have the bedroom door open to race? Because I know that was something that had to happen, so you could try and get a good connection. Or have you finally got rid of the Mickey Mouse dial-up modem that you've got and got a decent full fibre, singing, dancing internet? Let us know, Jamie.
Another thing that I want to get onto at some point, Kelly, when we get towards the end of the season, is the moment of the season, really. There's been some great moments this season, and I think Emplava looks like he's on his way to take his first win, but that's something we're going to have to look at, so Jamie says, really down. As you see there, Matt's got his front wing bumper is hanging off there, so whatever he's hit relatively hard.
Yeah, it's dislodged at the front cutting blade, so it's wiggling around now. And it doesn't seem to be hampering him too much. He's still matching Emplava on lap times, although he's 15 seconds down. So I think it's going to be the top 3 is going to be exactly the same, except Emplava's going to take the win. Matt and Ugbar's going to be there in the 3rd position, best of the rest again. So. But hopefully this man's on his way to his first Simplay win. Hard to believe the results that he's had and the racing that he's done, that he hasn't had that first win. It's been a little bit elusive for him, but it looks like, and I don't want to curse him, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, that it might be on its way.
It might be on his way. Guys, get your votes in for driver of the day. Jamie saying that he still has to dial up.
He's probably still got a push button phone. He has to ring his internet connection. So
I'm glad, to be honest, the last time that I was hampered by Jamie's lovely internet was actually at Laguna, and it was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. Trying to catch onto the back of his Audi, and it was just bouncing all over the place. One minute I was inside him, next minute he was up in the corkscrew, and I was still in the quick left-hander. It was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced, but nonetheless...
One for Innuendo Bingo there, if anybody follows that. Next minute I was inside him, so yes, Innuendo Bingo lovers, that'll be a good one, that would.
I think we might have to do that every time that Matt or myself or you or Nikki or Jamie has said an innuendo. We need to make a list and see how many people
Innuendo Bingo.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one in the chat, that would. Yeah, that would be a good one in the chat, so Innuendo Bingo of the Simplay commentators. As coming into the pits is Stealth with just a lap or so to go.
He's got no front bumper by the looks of things, so big damage.
Struggling with damage again.
As Emplava enters into the hairpin for his
look at that.
last. Oh mate, that thing is beautiful. I think Lamborghini's gone the right way for that one.
Look at all the carbon, all the carbon work there. See. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Boom.
Sucking chunk.
As Fury's Grandad in the comments saying, Ugbar driver of the day, he deserves some luck. And there's one vote for Ugbar so far. Kelly?
I'm, Emplava looked like he's going to take his first win, but I've been backing this boy all evening because I want to see him get this first win, as we all do, and it looks like he's on his way to it. So a bit of a moment here. Smithy has a bit of an issue there. Well, I believe it's Smithy, yeah, because he's the green flashes on Smithy's, isn't it? Yep. But I mean, I think I might be giving mine to Ugbar tonight because he's had such poor luck this season, and I feel his pain. Do you know what I mean? And two podiums in a row, like London buses, and I think for me it's going to be Ugbar.
Well, I'm going to make it even piece. I'm going to give it to this man. He definitely does deserve it here tonight. I think it just slipped away from him in race 1. He could have had the London buses, but it's going to be a race win. His maiden race win here at Simplay Motorsport as he avoids a Lamborghini bumper in the final corner. Emplava for Latvia is gonna come home for his first win here at Simplay Motorsport and gets another win on the board for the Audi. Congratulations to him. Latvia have taken a win here at Simplay Motorsport. Just in the background, Smithy exits the final corner as well, so he will finish in 10th place and scores points and is able to finish the race, as Matt will have to come home in 2nd place. He doesn't look too happy as he goes right up against the wall.
I'm sure he'll be fine about it.
But Ugbar coming...
Dan, just quiet, just for a minute. Can you hear that?
What?
That's the whole of Latvia cheering. All of them.
Ugbar coming into the final corner now as PM Motorsport says Ugbar driver of the day in the Ginetta 2, and Ugbar comes home to finish in 3rd place, and it is Bryn just behind him in 6th, with Welshie, I believe, just behind him as well. But Smoky Devil coming home for 4th place as well. I've got to say, Kelly, these Pro-Am boys have done a solid job here at Long Beach.
Hats off.
Barely any notes in my notepad, so they've done a great job of that. So congratulations to all the Pro-Am boys. They've done a solid job here tonight. Dean coming through to finish the table order in 5th place position, with Bryn in 6th, DJ Phil in 7th, 8th is Welshie, 9th is Stelsoft. Smithy does cross the line as well, and he's already exited the session, as I think Matt is currently updating the tables for us.
Yeah, Smithy's had to go for his little one, but he crossed the line 10th.
No worries, as we just have to wait for Ugbar to get back into the commentary box, as it is Emplava who takes the win and fastest lap here, so congratulations to him. 2nd place is Matt, 3rd place is Ugbar, 4th is Smoky Devil, 5th is Dean Wasocki, 7th is Bryn, 7th is DJ Phil, 8th is Welshie, 9th is Stelsoft, and Smithy does register as 10th place. He was just finishing the race. I think we're just about to get the championship standings up and running here, but we'll come to the drivers first, as Ugbar, you finally had some luck here tonight, and 2 3rd places. You must be over the moon with that.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Luckily, the start went well. So over team. So it was a good start, and I'm very happy with it. The podium. So what more do I want? Yeah, double win.
Yeah, it was another great drive. You've got, by the looks of it, you've got a couple of votes in the chat, and my vote for driver of the day. As I said, about time some luck went your way, isn't it?
Sorry again?
Looks like you've got driver of the day. Couple of votes in the chat, and my vote for driver of the day. So it looks like you're going to be driver of the day, and it's about time some luck come your way.
Thank you. I hope the last three tracks are still. Four.
Yep.
I hope they go well, and let's see if I can climb a bit in the standings.
Absolutely. Well, let's hope that you have a lot better luck in the second half of the season. But congratulations for tonight.
Well, just before you go, Ugbar, the next round will be Rapuna Park, and what's your opinions on going there?
Ruapuna Park. I don't like it. I don't like the track.
Good start.
Me neither, to be fair.
I'm not prone to be very lucky at Ruapuna. So,
Well, no.
but I'm gonna work coming week for a setup and hope for the best.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on your 2 third positions and driver of the day. We'll see you in a week's time. Congratulations, mate.
Thanks.
Well
And we go to the second place, man. Matt, not quite what you would have wanted in race 2, but I looked at things in the comments. Back markers seems to be your issue, and race 2, Long Beach, really hampered you in that race, didn't it?
Yeah. Back markers, man. I don't know what to say. Just like, well, I know we don't have blue flags, and I know that's not a rule, and I understand that. But flipping heck, come on, what is this?
But still, nonetheless, you walk away with a first and a second. You pretty much match Emprava, other than the one pole position point that he has. So it's not all doom and gloom. You're still leading the championship by a
No,
fair
good night.
amount.
Good night of points for the team. Good night of points for myself. It's just a shame race 2. I dropped it myself. Scott then Emplava, avoided me. Well done to him for that one. Smokey decided to just chop the flipping front nose off my car, and then back markers. Emplava seemed to catch him in a better position than I did, and they seemed to clear the way for Emplava better than what they did for me. It was just a frustrating one of them races, Dan, where you just get very frustrated at the situations that's happening. I had pace, a tenth slower than Emplava in that race. I had pace. It probably would have been a very similar race to race 1, but just them little niggly, frustrating bits that just annoy you. That in a long 24-lap race like that, just kind of, they just irritate you a little bit, and it's just, It's really great points, and it's nice to see him get his first win because he deserves it. He's worked hard all season.
Absolutely, and all in all, though, Matt, Long Beach possibly a little bit more successful than you thought it might be.
Thumbs up, but when we've said this in the past, and we was on about this, Kelly, me and you yesterday, when we've said that Pro-Am's been good in the past, the pros have been awful.
Yeah, we've said this in the comms, Matt. Yeah, so possibly tomorrow night you're going to be busy chatting about absolute carnage. It's going to be like a Long Beach scrapyard out there, I feel. And
I reckon there's a podium shout for you tomorrow, Kelly, because it's going to be mayhem.
Let's hope that's the case, and I'm not the one that starts the trouble. So we've certainly seen that in the past, and something we commented on in the comms this evening. But Ruapuna Park next. What do you think of that one?
I like Ruapuna. I think it's a good track. It was my pick for season 2, so I like Ruapuna. I enjoy the circuit. I think it's a good circuit. I think the Acura should go all right there. We move forward to next week. What's the gap? 59 points, I think the gap is. There's no need to panic at the minute. Everything's under control. You only get 54 points in a week. So, we look forward. I look forward to Ruapuna. I think it's going to be fantastic, and the racing should be great.
Well, congratulations for tonight,
cheers.
Matt, and onward and upward.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
We'll see you tomorrow night in the commentary box. But we now move to your finally your race winner for Latvia, Emprava. Congratulations, mate, on your first race win, and you did it here on the streets of Long Beach. How does that feel?
It feels amazing, It came a long way, but finally it came, and I really enjoyed this moment.
It was a good race from you. You got through the traffic reasonably quickly. Did you have any kind of hairy moments? Any kind of any troubles?
I had a hairy moment when Mitty spun and he got hit in the back, and almost his car got thrown in my way, but I managed to avoid it, and from there on it was basically just driving my own race, and
just keeping it all together and in a straight line. I said just at the end there, I think all of Latvia would be cheering for that one, and your supporters are loyal and stay right with you. So now you've got your first win. Many more to come now, yes?
Of course.
Absolutely, of course. Ruapuna Park next. You done much there?
Almost none.
Busy week then.
Yeah, really busy week. I have driven the track, so I'm really familiar, but not with the GT3 car, so I will have to test the limits.
Absolutely. Dan, anything further?
I'll just say congratulations on the race win, and it's nice to finally see you on the top step of the podium. Also fastest lap, a couple of people giving you driver of the day. So all in all, for a track that you weren't looking forward to, good result at Long Beach, no?
Yeah, you know, coming here I wasn't that confident, but now I want to see this track again next year.
Yeah, it was a good choice. Whoever chose it was obviously a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, congratulations to you, Emplava. And quick run through of the standings. Matt still leads the way with 59 points ahead of Emplava in second place, with Ben Parkey in third, but Smoky Devil now moving up into fourth place position. Laney dropping down to fifth. Welshie in sixth place position. Dean, after his double points, is up into seventh and ahead of Ukbar and Smithy, who are eighth and ninth. Stealth Sloth in 10th place position. DJ Phil in 11th has taken his double points, but is mathematically now out of the championship. Bryn still yet to use his double points, so where will that put him? I think that might knock him out of the championship as well. And Nicky at the rear as well. Championship standings for the teams is Sweet and Sour Motorsport still leading the way with 200-point advantage over Audi Sport. MC Motorsport has now moved up into third place position, and Not Fast Just Furious BMW team is now up into fourth place as Rainbow Prolapse and Team Prolapse drop to fifth and sixth. Smoky Racing in 7th, Metal and Racing in 8th, and 9th is Powerline Racing, who are mathematically out of winning the title for the teams. And Kelly, let's get a summary of Long Beach. It's been an amazing round. We've had some great racing from the pros, and not as chaotic as we thought.
Yeah. The Pro-Ams have done really well, as Matt pointed out in the first break. And for both podiums, there wasn't an Englishman who stood on either of the podium places. Latvia's Emplava and Wales's Matt, and Ugbar from who's a Dutchman. And so... yeah, it's been a non-English podium twice in a row. Tomorrow night, I'm looking forward to two Cornish lads being on the top steps, and that could possibly happen with the chaos that could happen tomorrow night. Pro-Am, tune in tomorrow night, because usually when Pro-Ams are behaved, the pros is carnage here at Long Beach. So join us tomorrow night. Great night's racing, Dan, and I've thoroughly enjoyed commentating it as usual.
Yep, so that is Long Beach. We now head to Rapuna Park next for the next round of the championship. Round, off the top of my
17
head.
and 18.
17 and 18. Me and Kelly have just lost our minds a little bit here, as Matt's having to butt in every now and then, which is very helpful. Very helpful.
Should shut up. He talks enough on a Thursday night.
I think we should shut up, because I think we're the ones making the mistake here. But nonetheless, make sure you tune in tomorrow night, as I believe Jamie will be in the commentary box with Matt.
No, I believe Nicky is back this week.
So Nicky will be back for Long Beach. So tune in for the Pro-Ams tomorrow night, and also tune in with myself on a Sunday night at 7 o'clock, as the F1s will return back on track as we head to Austria for the Red Bull Ring. Can Matt extend his championship lead over Green Pies, or will Green Pies start to bring that fight back to him? Make sure you tune in tomorrow night, and like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified. But from myself and Kelly and the Pro-Am drivers, it's good night.
Good night.
Can we call it the A1 ring for Sunday?
No.
Why? That was its whole thing.
It's not what it's called.
Yeah, but Red Bull rings.
But it's not. It's not what it's called.
Red Bull are poo, aren't they?
Questionable drivers in Hondas. That's what it is.
You're on about? Oh, Max Verstappen. Right. Okay.
No, I meant you.
DJ Phil.
Well, if I fucking... Oh my God, Bryn's fuming.
Why? What's the matter with him?
Just with Phil.
We did catch that.
Phil was holding people up again, wasn't he?
He understood. Like Bryn said on my stream before. Catch you later, guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Monkey Boy, Emplava, Gary, Smoky Devil, Emplava was there. PN Motorsport was there. But catch you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Make sure you tune in on Simplay Motorsport tomorrow night, and go and check Unorthodox 16 for his POV of the chaotic Long Beach race that will take place tomorrow. Cheers, guys.
On my Twitch.
Bryn was he obviously understood that DJ Phil would have to move out of the way, but he says there are a few times where Brill